Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday night, the best night of the week for TCH Live. Good evening, everybody. It's 10-25-50, no limit hold'em, live from Texas Card House, Dallas. It's Dad Talking, aka Ben Kirby, and I'm joined with Dealer Talking, Greg Potter. What is up, Greg?
What's up, Ben? How you doing, bud?
I'm good and happy to be here virtually with you, but present in spirit as we have this table full of crushers / gamblers as we start off with what it looks to be a $500 PLO bomb pot.
Yep, as we always do, get that little bit of gamble out of the way before the heat turns on.
4,000 in this pot, going to whoever's the luckiest.
Yep, let's see what we got here. Looks like it's going to be a chop between Nate and John Ryan, both with the 7-4 offsuit to the straight. Gotta love it.
A lot of familiar faces here. Trick Time, JD, Nate, Kyle, John Ryan, some other crushers coming later in the evening. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in on your Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. 125 of you. Mr. Cutting says, "Hi, Nick. Hello, I'm Brendan, and I'm addicted to online streamed poker." Aren't we all?
Glad to feed your addiction, sir.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, and hit that like button for us for sure as we get into one of the biggest games on the internet right now. Taking a look at the chip counts, it's a 10K minimum buy-in, unlimited maximum, 25,000 for Nate behind. Looks to be buying in the most. We'll see those quickly go into the middle. This table of players is not shy to put big stacks of money in the middle any given hand.
Oh, by no means. And it looks like we got a new face there in C5. I haven't seen him around, but everyone else is regulars here. Kyle Z, JD, Nate, Crypto Nate. John Ryan's back for the first time in a while. Glad to see him coming back through.
For sure. Immediately putting on the $100 straddle from Trick Time. We're playing 50-100 this hand, as if it needed to be any bigger.
As if it couldn't get any better. St. Pete Snow, the new gentleman to the table, wakes up, very first hand, big slick in the blinds. Going to put in a very standard raise, I think. Raise it up to 300. And Trick Time already getting tricky with the 3 bets, ace deuce offsuits.
Small 3-bet, 4-bet here from St. Pete Snow, all in.
Wow, just ships it over him. Wow, love the aggression. Already firsthand, we see an all in. Man.
Just like that. 15,000 went in there without even blinking an eye, really.
Seriously, without missing a beat. I like Trick Time's 3-bet there with the offsuit ace. I think that hand can kind of go either way. When you're facing a race from the blind, it's good to put a lot of pressure on all the different holdings they can have, especially when you're going to play the hand in position. But when you do get 4-bet, you kind of run into a little. I think that hand kind of played itself out naturally.
Props to St. Pete Snow for being willing to get it all in there. Playing we have no idea if this is his regular stake or if he's taking a shot or whatever, but
props. He's already putting it in. So let's see, John Ryan in the cutoff, King 7 suited. Looks like he's just going to limp on in here. Already starting the limp game.
This man's done pretty well for himself in this game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Actually, I think as of now, I think he's even, or roughly, just because he had one really bad night. But
as poker's been known to do.
As it does to everybody. Going 4 ways to the flop. Wow, John Ryan just flops the flush immediately.
Oh, I thought Kyle Z flopped flush too, but yeah. Huge flop here for John Ryan. Kyle Z has got a 5 of clubs, but that's probably not gonna.
Yeah, unfortunately, John Ryan already starting off hot. Getting no love for the flop flush, though. Pretty hard to find value targets willing to pay you a lot of money on boards like that. Boards that are as scary and as wet as that one was.
But he wasn't trying to get cheeky at all and check it through and be sneaky about it. He was trying to pump it up as quick as possible. Try to get value from those naked aces of clubs and such, I guess. Sets.
Exactly. You really don't want to give a free card to 3 opponents that could some of them, they might even have like ace rag of clubs that you just kind of give the pot to if you give them that free card. So you may, and you're going to get value from those exact hands on the flop anyway. So you may as well go ahead and put in a bet.
I like it. Peck here with a real hand, ace jack off. No, he's not sitting there. My bad.
He was not sitting down, but Leo on the button going to raise 2 3s here on the button. I think that's fine. Leo's usually a 2-5 grinder that plays on the Wednesday stream pretty often, but he is joining us tonight for the big game.
Nice.
So good to see him taking a shot and getting in there.
Trying to run it up.
10 G's. 10 G's.
One stack of high society should do okay for yourself. I mean, you know, anything can happen. It's so much money, but it's actually like the shortest stack for a game like this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that 10 grand is a short stack in any game.
In any game, yeah. This is where Trick Time really flourishes because of his kind of wild image. Sometimes he's got a real hand here. Pocket queens in the small blind.
Red queens here.
He's immediately going to get a 3-bet here from Kyle Z.
Yep. And I think this 3-bet's fine in position when you got a pair. You know, I think Kyle knows the trick is going to be opening up a lot of hands here in the blinds once it folds to him. Trick Time not slowing down even for a second, puts in the 4-bet out of position here. I think this is great. Pretty big 4-bet size. Kyle's going to have to commit a lot of, wow.
All in a call.
All in like, snap call.
I got caught.
Man. Oh, boy.
I mean, you get why Kyle Z did this because Trick Time could be in there with 4 high as he's been.
Oh, he could be in there with all kinds of other stuff that 8's are a mile ahead of. So maybe
in the long run, Kyle Z's playing the long game here in terms of shoving that, but not a position you want to be in here. 7-7 king.
No 8 on the flop. Let's see if Kyle can get out of this one.
$20,000 pot right off the jump.
Right from the get-go. Both players,
7
river in a boat. However, Trick Time got the higher one with pocket queens. It looks like our man Kyle is out of the building.
Oh, you hate to see it.
You hate to see it. He says, first hand, I'm done. We out. Man, that is rough. Rough start there from Mr. Kyle, but we're going to get some new players in there. Umid, the regular, is on the way. So is Skydiver Scott. So we're going to fill that seat relatively quickly.
A single stack of high society headed over to Trick Time, all part of the plan for him. Kyle Z, unfortunately, he rarely gets out of line. I don't even know if that's getting out of line, but it's just unfortunate that he blind versus blind was up against
versus this exact player. I don't think that's out of line. I think maybe, you know, you could have, since he was in position, I think if he was out of position, that would have worked as a ship there. But Trick Time did make it a pretty awkward price. Kyle it kind of committed Kyle's stack, whether he called or shoved.
Sure.
But I think Kyle maybe could have flatted, seen a flop, maybe tried to control the variance a little bit. But I think that's all said in hindsight. So no fault either way for the way it was played thus far. Oh my God. And JD wakes up with aces. The first hand he gets involved in. Why not? Why not give JD aces? The guy just
boys, as if he needs them.
I know, right? Is this as if he needs them, but he gets them anyway. The offsuit variety.
This man can make it happen with basically any 2 cards as well. This man is a very good poker player.
Oh yeah,
and
monster of a player.
A real hand here. Trick Time is probably not going to go anywhere.
Nope. Does in fact make the flat call in position. I think this is fine. JD knows. I think Trick Time is aware of his image. He knows JD might be 3-betting him light. Unfortunately, right now he's got the nuts. Top 2 pair. Overpair to the board. Very dry. Trick Time may look him up light here. He does have a lot of backdoor equity.
And technically the nut advantage, I think. Somebody calling the 3-bet? Yeah, because, I mean, JD has so few 10s here.
Yeah, I mean, overall, JD still got the range advantage, but Trick Time is definitely going to have the nuts advantage on this board. He has all the 10s. He has all the Jack 10. He has all the 10-9, even 10-8 sometimes. He could have 7-8 here, 9-8 suited, etc. Is
that a big piece of amber?
Wow.
Because JD's a paleontologist.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it looks awesome. So it's a really cool card protector, whatever it is.
Archaeologist, not a paleontologist. And JD an archaeologist? Isn't that what we said?
That's what the chat said. He's actually an engineer.
Big check here from JD that if JD can stick with it, it's going to get a little extra value from King High.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I really actually like the check here on the turn. The Jack's going to help Trick Time a lot more often than it's going to help him. And so maybe if Trick Time looked him up light with something like Ace Jack suited, then now he just turned top pair. And Trick Time's going to be betting this card a lot of the time. So I really like JD's decision to check. And I think it was entirely knowingly trapping Trick Time here. JD could stacks are a little big for a ship. I think a flat call is in order the majority of the time here. And it looks like he does go for the flat call. Maybe.
I think so. This is turning into quite a pot here.
Yes, it is.
9,200 in this pot.
Oh,
For those
man.
that are maybe new, those blue and white chips in the front are $1,000 chips. The blacks are 100. Pinks are
Oh my
500.
God. Is that a king on the river?
I can't see.
Is that the money card for is that the money card for JD?
Oh, big check on the river for JD. Wow.
Big check. Actually, Trick may check this back. JD's shown a ton of strength. However, he could still have he could have ace king here. So that card is not always great for Trick Time, even though it does give him top pair. He's still losing to ace king. He no longer and he ships it. And JD's
it all in, bro.
Yep, and JD's actually in kind of a rough spot here. Once your opponent shows this,
go ahead.
Once your opponent shows this much interest in a pot like this, when they have the range advantage on the flop and the turn, pretty rough spot to be in with aces. You do have an overpair, but however, there are a lot of straights that got there. Queen nine, a lot of two pair that got there. King jack. Trick Time's got all the tens. This is actually a pretty rough spot. I don't think JD can go anywhere just yet. He does call, and JD says, aces, bud. Give me all of your money and Kyle's right now.
$39,000, and it's not even 7 p.m. yet. We're 15 minutes into this stream, and it's a $40,000 pot, bro.
You guys wanted action. You got it.
This isn't an easy call. I mean, with, not at all. I mean, calling with two pair versus a guy that could easily have a bunch of weird hands.
Oh, he can have so many tens. It's not even funny.
You puke if he obviously flips a 10 over there, but man, what a great call by JD to win just a massive pot.
Very well played to get the absolute maximum there.
Allison says, if JD folds this, I'm leaving.
Right.
Nick from Yuma says, JD, LFGGGGGGG.
Man, he's let's go, JD. Let's do it, bro. Let's run good like you always do. My God. And Trick Time, not even missing a beat, puts another stack of those $1,000 chips right back on the table. I didn't even see him put them out there, and he still got them.
This is what JD does, man. If he runs okay, he's gonna he just
runs over the table,
exponentially crush the game. I mean, 16 minutes in, this man's up what, $15,000 or $20,000,
almost maybe. 20 grand. He bought in for 18, I think, at the before the flop. So you love to see it when you get fully paid off with the birds there.
Does that deserve a like? 17 minutes in, chat?
I think that deserves a like, guys. There are 495 of you, and we only got 49 likes. That is 1 out of every 10 of you is only like this stream. Come on, we can do a little better than that.
Absolutely.
I know we can. If you guys like the high stakes action in front of you, hit that like button, hit subscribe, do us a favor. Cost you nothing, but it means the world to both Ben and I.
Almost 22,000 of you subscribed already, so we appreciate it. Matt Sexton, $5 super chat. Loving the action. I got to get to Texas. Matt, come through.
Yeah, man.
We're always
come
here.
on through, my guy. Open 24 hours a day now. 7 days a week. We are always here. The action is always going. Action printing machine in the back running full time. No stops. Speaking of no stops, JD not slowing down even for a minute, raising up the king deuce suited in the blinds.
Now he's got playing chips as if he didn't have 1,000 big blinds before.
As if he didn't have enough already.
Yeah. Whatever the math is. He had 18,000 to start the hand. He's got like 38,000 now. He just takes that one down. Looks like we're doing a full round of $100 straddles. I mean, how many other 5,100 games are going right now in the country? I don't think there's a ton.
Not many. Not many. Can't be many.
And in terms of live stream, I think this is probably the only one. The only one worth watching, that's for sure. I'm not biased at all, though.
That's for sure. No, not even a little bit, but I mean, you guys see the content here. Can't possibly argue. Who made in the cutoff? Got queen nine suited. I think this is a very natural open here, facing no aggression thus far from earlier positions.
A lot of people got haircuts this week. Everybody cleaned themselves up between last week and this week.
Sure did. Looks that way, myself included.
That's right. All right, so JD 3-bet here, king queen suited. Peck with a monster here. Big slick in the third blind, facing a 3-bet in the small blind. I think a 4-bet is in order here, right?
Yeah, cold 4. Definitely don't want to see this out of position by any means. I think this cold 4-bet is trying to price it out and maybe get a flat call from JD. However, I don't think that's very likely. JD does have a very strong hand here, king queen suited. However, dominated at the moment. Obviously, he doesn't know that, but I don't think he is going to believe that Peck's putting in this in too light. However, very playable hand post flop, so he does elect on a call, coming along for the ride.
Justin C says, everyone, don't forget to slow roll the like button. Man, open ship the like button, bro.
Open ship that like button. Oh, here we go. Both players absolutely whiffing this flop. 7 deuce 3 rainbow. This is going to be a leveling war we see here. Peck could kind of go either way on this board.
Two thinking players here on a board that rarely connects with either, and they both know that about each other.
Absolutely.
6,000 in the pot is nothing to sniff at, though. And so Peck, I imagine, is going to try to figure out a way to maybe put the old 1/3 pot bet out there.
Yeah, I think the majority of the time you do want to bet this flop. If your opponent's really, really tight and just has an overpair a lot of the time, that's never going to fold. Maybe you can check it back and try and bank an ace or a king. However, JD is capable of having much less, and Peck's going to defend his range here. This board definitely helps him a lot more than it does JD, just because Peck currently has all the aces, kings, queens, etc., where JD does not. And JD going nowhere.
Ooh.
Makes the flat call with king high on this board. Love it. Love to see it.
Peck bet a third pot as predicted, and JD floating with some backdoor equity for sure, but that's not the card for him.
That is not the one. I don't think either player really likes to see that card. We may see this go check, check.
Imagine being 94% with ace high. Pretty good position.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Yeah, it doesn't happen to me very often.
Red King Kong. Holy moly, Texas has so much action. Licky face, licky face, licky face, licky face, licky face.
Yep.
Absolutely. Understatement of the year.
Yeah, he said, I need to move to Texas. Bro, come on down. The games are live. The land is cheap. No property tax. It's nice.
There's plenty of room. Just don't move close to us and raise our property taxes.
Yeah. And it looks like Peck is just going to ship it here. I think that was, if he was going to put out a bet, that was the best option by far. Overbet the pot there on the turn and just say, wake up with something, JD, or fold your hand, bud.
Whew.
And I like the aggression. It does suck that he did price out one of the exact hands that he maybe could have squeaked value from if JD elected to float that turn. I doubt it, but you never know. Definitely put something like pocket 8s or 9s in a pretty rough spot. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, a bold ship nonetheless with ace high versus a guy that's running pretty hot.
Yep.
So far.
Yeah,
but,
we already
good play.
Already saw him got past. Already saw JD get past a 40K pot. So sometimes it's you don't want to play back with people that's running that good, that much momentum.
JTN 1968 says, at Ben Kirby, I may be in Dallas next week. You need to get a hall pass to play the mixed game next Thursday. Ain't that the truth? I'll see what I can do. This might be enough heads up that I might be able to swing something. JTN 1968.
There you go. JD, my God, just not slowing down at all for even one hand, raising 8-7 suited on the button, taking down the blinds. Nobody wants to play with the man. He's too good. He's too scary. They can't handle the heat. That's not true. I know all these guys can hold up to it.
It's like Trick Time added on, as he's known to do, for stacks. He's got 30K behind. So we could, you know,
About 30 G's.
we could see a $60,000 or $70,000 pot at the way things are going at this pace.
Absolutely.
I like it. I like it a lot. Shout out to the chat. Almost 700 watching. Really appreciate y'all tuning in this early on your Tuesday. I know everybody looks forward to this stream. I know I do. Always super fun. Just, you know,
I do.
The least relatable poker content for sure. These stakes are just out of this world, but very, very fun to watch. Just because the money is wild. Umid here,
so big
suited ace under the gun +1. Peck, another big one with ace queen off in the small blind.
Yeah, I think he's going to put in the 3-bet here. Looks that way. Leo gets well out of the way. Bunch of rags in between. I don't think Umid's going to go anywhere just yet. He's in position. Dominated per the moment. However, things always change after the flop.
That's right.
A little short stacked right now. Actually, out flops Peck here. Binking a 2, backdoor spades.
Peck might choose to continue here in flow after 3-betting.
I mean, this board is the with it being a jack high board, your opponent's going to have a lot more jacks than you do, a lot more 7s than you do. If Umid decides to look him up light here, it wouldn't be crazy. And he certainly does, going absolutely nowhere. Peck made it pretty small for him. Jack on the turn. Peck hates that card. That's a terrible card for his range. I can't imagine he's going to continue barreling here, but he just may. Oh, wow. What did I even say? Oh, no. Okay. He checked it over and Umid ships it for he's a short stack right now, but Umid knows right where he's at right now. He's got a deuce. I don't even know if this is a bluff.
Right.
I don't know what Umid's thinking in this spot.
When you short stack like this,
you definitely don't want to give a free card to your opponent.
You have this is one of the benefits of short stacking here. It's like you can basically not be pushed off your very, very, perceived small amounts of equity, but he's actually way, way ahead.
Way ahead here.
What did I say? 10K min? It looks like he bought in for 5 though. No, because he called. He's in for more than that.
He bought in for like about 8K or so, I think is what the graphic said pre-flop.
I like it. Peck really thinking about it here. I don't think he's coming along by any means with ace high, but Umid is the type of guy that can put it in here with 10-9.
We've seen crazier things on this stream, and I'm sure Peck knows that Umid is a bit of a wild player sometimes. Could be stone bluffing with something like, like you said, 8-9, or maybe turn to club draw after floating light on the flop. Who knows?
Scott Alford says it's obviously a value jam.
He's putting chips in his hand.
He would be very
That's usually not a good sign.
If he calls, the idea is right that Umid is weak. And he calls.
Wow, he does call.
Dude.
Calls. He 5K call. Umid, I think, would have rather seen a fold. However, he is a mile ahead right now. Peck's outs are dirty. He's drawing to exactly a queen or a 7 to give for a chop. Oh, and since the board paired, he's actually drawing to an ace. That's why his equity increased on the turn. Oh, man, here we go. King on the river. No help to Mr. Peck. 2 pair for Umid.
Ace, deuce,
deuces and jacks taken down. Wow. Welcome to the table, Umid.
Peck almost had the right idea because he, calling Umid light, because Umid was also kind of light, but man, you hate to see the ace deuce there.
Yeah, he was very, very light. Oh man, that was a wacky hand to say the least.
Whoo.
My God, Umid, welcome to the table, sir.
We delivered what we said we were going to deliver at the beginning, as we always do.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to comprehend action, really interesting spots. You can definitely learn something and also maybe be cautioned in that there's people out here in Texas that are going to pay you off if you put it in there.
They're also going to put you to the test.
That's right.
And make you call down real light.
Peck's not a bad player. I mean,
ways.
I appreciate the, he's willing to call with his read. Like he's willing to go with this read and call regardless of the price. which is a good trade. It's just unfortunate it didn't work out for him that time.
Yeah, not this time, unfortunately. I mean, I think Umid was turning his hand into a bluff there, and so I think Peck sniffed that out a little bit. It was unfortunate that Umid just happened to be bluffing with dominating hand. Leo putting in the light 3-bet here over Peck's open on the button with King Jack offsuit. I think this is great. This is definitely a 3-bet or fold spot. You have a lot of relevant blockers with your King Jack. Peck's going to be opening a lot of hands on the button, very wide range.
Peck pulling out those stacks like a boss, bro.
Oh yeah, just added on another 10K right there, sitting with 27,000. Leo a short stack here. Given that Leo is a short stack, this 3-bet could be perceived as a lot stronger than usual because you're committing so much more of your stack. You're going to have a much lower SPR. But Peck is going to come along to the flop. We're seeing it heads up.
The floodgates have opened. Peck is like, you know what? We're gambling now. What's the difference?
Oh, wow. And Leo way out flopping Peck by an absolute mile. This board smashes Leo's 3-bet range. Peck basically whiffs entirely. A C-bet here is going to get it done, I think, about 100% of the time, as is mandatory from Leo. And there it is. Leo, first hand involved, already taken down a 1.5K profits. Welcome to the 10-25-50, sir.
Leo taking a shot on the Tuesday night, a Wednesday night regular. You like to see the guys trying to jump up in stakes about, I don't know, at least 2Xing your stakes. You know, we play 2-5 on Wednesdays, but it's like 2-5, 10, 20. So maybe he's 2 or 3Xing his normal stakes. Good to see him take one down, get settled, maybe get some of the nerves off if he is nervous. I feel like I would be nervous, but maybe some of these guys are sickos. I know some of these guys are sickos.
I know some of these guys are sickos, man.
Just like aren't even worried about it.
Not even. Pete Snow here, suited 6 in the blinds. Lets it go. Your range can widen enough in the blinds. Maybe if there's only a 2-blind game, 3-blind game, that might be a pretty standard open. But given that there's 3 people still behind you to go, I think it's just fine to let it go. Trick time. Waking up with a big slick. Nate 3-betting him, completely dominated ace queen.
This could be a huge pot.
This could be a gigantic pot if we see an ace on the flop. Trick time going absolutely nowhere, not slowing down whatsoever. Puts in the 4-bet from the blinds. They've seen him do this already, and I think Nate has a very natural call here with the ace queen suited. Very quick call. Very deep. These guys are sitting. We could see a $50,000 pot.
Let's go. 50K.
Let's go.
If an ace comes, bro, it's on.
The money's in.
Or King Jack 10. All right.
Let's see. Both players kind of whiff.
10,000 in the pot already. These guys are going to be fighting for this money. They don't want to just bet fold this.
Brian Craven says, what's the monitor under the dealer? That is what the dealer uses to keep track of all the hourly that these guys are paying to play here. TCH, we do hourly versus a rake system, which is much better.
That's J Nick in the box, right?
That is J Nick,
this
the
man
master,
is like a machine.
The machine. Here we go. Trick time. Continuing here on this board. Once Nate has 3-bet this board shouldn't connect with him too often. And when trick time getting it done with just a little bit of aggression. Showing the bluff there on the flop. Unfortunately, Nate, you're
bluffing with the best of it, bro.
You're bluffing with the best of it right now, my guy.
And I still didn't get any clarification about if that is Trick Time's bit. You know, the chat was concerned about Trick Time doing the whole card throwing thing, but
these guys all know Trick. I actually dealt to him a couple days ago. He's doing stuff like this all the time. He's usually like getting the table to laugh. He's very conversational, very solid poker player. Likes to show bluffs, and honestly, that's great for the game. And he's a little aggressive about it, but it's all endearing. It's all in love. This guy knows all these guys pretty well. Yeah, $10,000 love. Just a little bit of love. And these guys all know him very well. I don't think it's being received in any sort of negative fashion.
Sure.
See, Nate's still talking to him right now. They're talking about the hand. He's not upset by any means.
And if you get a name like Bitcoin Nate, I imagine maybe this stake doesn't exactly phase you.
Yeah. Or at the very least, you don't care when one guy's throwing cards at you.
Right.
Going 3 ways to the flop here. John Ryan opening up the ducks. Peck flops
the
the
nuts.
nuts.
Okay,
the nutter butters.
The effective nuts. All right. Before the chat comes in, yes, a straight flush.
All right, there is a. All right.
The ace high flush.
Yes, fine. Yeah, 10-8 suited got there. All right. Basically flops the nuts.
So this is a nice reward for Peck. You know, if the pot builds, but maybe not. It might.
Yeah, not with these hands, unfortunately. John Ryan may look him up here with a diamond and a pair, which he does. Turn is a 7. Definitely a terrible card for John Ryan's exact hand. Peck probably likes this card a lot. John Ryan may still look him up with some 7s and just picked up trips. Oh, wow. And John Ryan's going to bluff this card. He knows that this 7 pairing is a lot better. Actually, I don't think it's pretty range neutral for the most part, but he is going to take a stab at it. Peck still sitting here with the ace high flush on the turn.
If you're Peck, surely
Loving
most
life.
often you want to call here.
Oh, just flat. Let John Ryan continue to bluff at it. The SPR is still big enough. You can flat. Let John Ryan take another stab on the river and then ship it for all the chips. Man, if John Ryan binks a deuce
that
here
would
on
be
the
sick.
end,
Or a
that
7.
would be sick. Or a 7. You're right. Or a 7. Wow, he does have 3 outs. A 7 would be the sickest thing in the world. I think that would definitely get Peck away from it a lot of the time.
Don't you raise it, Peck.
Oh.
Peck's V-pipping pretty high.
He's raising it, though. He's
this
raising it
strong.
up. He's saying, John Ryan, buddy, you better show up with something or fold your hand.
Yeah, I mean, this looks super, super strong. I don't think John Ryan's going to spend too much time on this.
No, not at all. Yeah, once you, donk into the flop aggressor and then he raises you, that's usually a pretty significant sign of get out of my pot.
But what? Oh, he really almost juked him.
Yeah, I think he's maybe trying to get a read.
It would be an uncomfortable presence sitting there to his left. It's like a dominating guy.
He's a big dude,
and
John
he's
Ryan's
a good player
man
as well. Like really thinking about this and trying to. Yeah,
does in fact let go of the 2s here.
I was uncomfortable. I have 0 money invested, and I was still kind of sweating it a bit.
That's stare down, man. I don't want to be on the other end of I don't want to be on the left or right of that guy. Scary.
Guilherme Tesser following you from Porto Alegre, Brazil. Great game. Always watching the game and learning a lot. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching the stream.
Tuning in from South America. Love to see it. Let's see where everyone else is tuning in from, guys. Put it in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We love to see where all of our viewership is coming from all around the world. Really, really cool to hear where you guys are from.
I saw Florida earlier. I saw some other countries like that. Florida is basically another country, right? Yeah, Dennis Massey, Florida. Sun emoji, palm tree emoji.
Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Well, here we go.
BK.
Pete Snow waking up with the first real hand. Pocket queens, the ladies.
Skydiver Scott looks like he just sat down. This man's good for the game as well.
Always good for the game. Not good for the vloggers, but good for the game.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, we did have a good time watching the vloggers play last week.
I like this. Trick time putting in a light 3-bet here on the button. 9-6. Wow, what an awful flop for pocket queens.
Iceland, UK, Denmark, Scotland, Upper Mongolia. Oh, I don't believe you. James, Ireland, Netherlands, Melbourne.
Oh, Pete Snow here is looking at trick time up super light. This is awesome. On this board, this is typically like a snap fold with pocket queens, but against a player like trick time, I don't think it's a crazy call by any means. And in fact, he does have the check mark per the moment. If trick time continues the aggression, does not check, Pete Snow maintains the check mark and check once again. Pocket queens, bud, bluffing right into it. You'll love to see it. Good flat there on the flop by Mr. Snow.
Golly, I think this is all legit. Maybe some people are just writing down other countries, but it seems like there's a lot of people internationally watching the stream right now. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love seeing
a lot of Florida too. A lot of
yeah, that may as well be Nevada. A different country.
Yeah. Austin.
Panama
Henderson,
City Beach.
Scotland, a van down by the river, an undescript river.
Maui.
Texas.
Someone tuned in from Maui. What?
Nice. Must be nice.
Yeah, that must be nice. New Jersey, Sacramento, Ireland. Ireland's in the house.
Long Island.
The
Yep. What up?
Netherlands.
What up? Michigan.
Man, love to see all you guys in here. Thanks for tuning in to TCH Dallas.
Very fun. Almost 1,100. It's a little generous, but almost 1,100 of you watching right now. Pretty cool for a Tuesday night.
Absolutely.
No pressure for us commenting in front of 1,000 real people.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
I'm totally chill about it. But, we've got our homie Greg Potter here, one of the best in the business right now. And so I just get to play off you, bro.
Hey,
You're the one on the hook for all the analysis. I just get to make really good jokes.
There you go.
Really good comedic bits.
Wow, Nate flopping gigantic here with
Real
the gutter
flush
ball
draw.
to the uber nuts. Spikes his flush on the turn. John Ryan also picks up a 4-high flush. Scott over Scott, just with a middling pair. Probably not going to get much action from him. Nate going to lead out here on this turn. I think that's great. John Ryan just lets go of the 4-high flush. Like to see it. Like to see the discipline. And Skydiver Scott also going to lay it down. Nate going to pick up a small little profit there, but it was a pretty scary board texture. Not too much you're going to get called by.
Also, starting March 20th, the year 2022, Texas Card House, along with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, is going to be going on a poker cruise. I know y'all have heard me talk about it before, but this will be the event of the year. A full 7-night cruise out of Galveston, Texas, headed to places like Roatan, Costa Maya, and Cozumel, all while Texas Card House brings the action on the high seas to the boat. Fully staffed poker room for the duration of the cruise. If you want more info, texascardhouse.com is where you get all the deets, starting at $800 a person. Come on now. It's like the cheapest vacation you could think of for a whole week. Catered food, beverages, and a full week of poker. Now, granted, that could get a lot more expensive. But check out the texascardhouse.com for all the info.
Yeah. I'm surprised some of these hands that we saw, I'm surprised they didn't look trick time up. He's been doing a lot of 3-betting, wakes up with an actual hand this time. Oh, and the perfect flop for the jacks, the hooks. This is the best flop you could ever see with this hand.
Mimi's most recent vlog, he was talking about how exhausted he was of people saying the jiggities.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I loved that. In one of his hands, someone called them the jiggities at the table, and he just let out a really long sigh,
as if like, "Oh, this is gonna be hilarious. I'm gonna call them the jiggities."
Skydiver Scott got the best hand to fold. Got the jacks to lay it down. However, I don't fault trick there even the slightest. It's pretty hard for jacks to hold up to multiple bets there, and Skydiver Scott is certainly capable of putting in multiple barrels.
Jedi Master Ted says the really good bits part is probably debatable. Well, you get what you pay for. And I agree. But I'll be here all year, Jedi Master Ted. So you're stuck with my debatably hilarious bits. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Jedi Master Ted's in Austin, too. Rep it for the 512. Somebody named Chat Pro Poker in the chat. Very meta.
Very meta.
Repping it for Atlanta, ATL, baby. A-Town down. I think he meant state income tax, not property tax. The Chat Pro Lord.
Yeah, that is what I meant. I knew I messed up the moment I said that. Doesn't matter. Zane getting in the game, waking up pocket aces. JD calling him light here. 8-6. Flops top pair.
Zane, new face for the game, at least for me. Got the
he's been in the
Airlines.
He's been in the 2-5 game.
Okay, I don't recognize him.
Yeah, I think he was going by a different name in that game. Does elect to bet out on this flop. JD shouldn't have too much of a piece of this. There's not a lot of good 2-pair combos available other than 4-3, and I doubt that's going to call 3-bet and see a flop. 5 on the turn gives JD the world, open-ended with top pair.
Zane actually has a wheel draw.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the deuce gives Zane The wheel, what a card that would be.
Yeah, that would be.
This is a pretty awful card most of the time for Zane. I do like his decision to check here. You could argue that the 5 shouldn't change too much other than exactly 6-7 getting there. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
7 on the end gives JD the check mark. Zane, that is just an awful card. This is a terrible board for pocket aces.
He knows it's a bad card for him. He's trying to get to river cheap. But
yeah, as
JD
cheap
is
as
going to give him
possible.
bad news.
Yeah. JD rivering the straight there on the end. Runner to the suck out. You love to see it. The JD holding up as the luckiest player at this table.
the best poker playing archaeologist in the game.
Rivers,
a huge hand here.
Huge hand against pocket aces.
To Zane. People recognize Zane in the chat from other card
poker
rooms up north.
Yep.
Interested to see how his game shakes out with this table of dangerous.
Oh, I saw the head shake. He does not like this bet at all. He is not liking his hand, not even a little bit.
Is he thinking, is this guy just
trying
to bluff with king, queen of diamonds or something that missed? But he folds it. Nice fold here.
Very good fold there on the end. A lot of people get too curious. There is a 4-liner out there, and they wonder how many 6s is my opponent going to have, but there's also 2 pairs. Your opponent can have all the sets. Doesn't have to just have a straight. There are still plenty of other hands that be. You have a pure bluff catcher at that point, and I do think it was the right decision to lay that down the vast majority of the time. Though JD is definitely capable of running a bluff in that spot with busted diamonds or something like that.
Sure. 10, 25, 50, 100 to the moon.
To the moon. Just Zane. Like the likes for this chat, everybody.
That's right.
Let's take him to the moon.
Ace 10 of spades on the button for Zane. He's going to hear from John Ryan, though, with the pocket nines. Oh, just calling here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was kind of surprised we didn't see a 3-bet there from John Ryan. Nines is going to be way ahead of a button opening range the vast majority of the time. And you don't hate just taking it down right now out of position because there are a lot of flops you don't want to see. That's not one of them, though. That's a flop you love to see. Flopping middle set for John Ryan with overcards on the board. Zane with a range advantage. There's a lot of draws available here. Say if Zane did have aces, kings, ace, queen, etc. Would love to deny equity from.
John Ryan, very wet connected board here, but also still really likes his hand. What do you do here?
Yeah, it's definitely close between calling and raising. I like the raise the vast majority of the time, which he elects to do. A queen is never going to fold to you. There's too many draws available. You can balance this hand exceptionally well with something like diamond draw, etc. Mainly just a diamond draw on this board. Jack 10's already there. Yeah, unfortunately, Zane kind of got caught there, hand in the cookie jar a little bit. John Ryan not getting too much love for his middle set. However, I'm sure he's happy to take the pot down right now. A diamond on the turn would have been a disaster. A 10 on the turn would have been a disaster, despite the fact that it doesn't actually improve Zane, but it's hard to get any more value. You want to definitely get it right now on the flop.
Zane lost pretty close to the minimum. I think he didn't lose too much. Got out of there when he needed to. Don't blame him for continuation betting there. But
yeah, there could be some argument for checking back flop, just because if you do get raised on that board, it's pretty awful. You just have to fold, and your opponent's probably going to do a lot of raising there. Even if they have a draw, it's hard for you to call with your exact hand. But I don't blame him for putting out a little stab. You know,
you want to default towards aggression, but also there's plenty of situations where you just want to check, realize equity, and not get put in a tough spot like you did.
Absolutely. Zane not slowing down though, opens up queen jack offsuit in the cutty, gets a light call from a dominated queen, and we see it come through on the flop. Top pair for both players. Scott Everscott drawing to exactly 1/6 that's left in the deck.
Ouch. Same bet.
This is gonna see some money pile in the middle,
or maybe that's 400. No, same bet.
Looks like $300. Continue here. 3 on the turn. Utter brick of a card for the most part.
More outs added to Skydiver Scott. He picked up an inside
He does
straight
pick
draw.
up the straight draw. Yeah, he does. Definitely going nowhere now. Actually, a great card for Zane, unbeknownst to him, because he's probably going to get all the value in the world. Skydiver, who's going nowhere. Did this go check, check? Oh my gosh. Well, it doesn't matter. Zane Rivers, top 2 pair. I'm really surprised to see a check there. You don't want to give a free card to any diamond draws.
Small bet
I don't think that was
Skydiver.
Yeah, let's see here. Zane now, top 2 pair. Definitely probably going to put in a raise. Kind of a weird line to take, though, once you check back to the turn. You're pretty much saying I have queen.
Small.
It's
like 3/4.
It was about a 2. Yeah, it's about like 2/3, 3/4 pot size bet. Just a flat call. Zane wants to see his cards. And he's got top 2 pair. Now I'm actually really surprised we didn't see a raise there on the end as well. You can target a lot of queens there. Say Skydiver Scott had something like ace queen. You'd have gotten the max, I think.
It'll be on Umid under the gun. $100 straddle out there from Trick Time. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday night. Watching TCH live. Coming to you live from Texas Card House in Dallas off Harry Hines Boulevard. Umid here. Open it up to 300. Ace 6 suited. He loves these kind of hands.
We sure did. This is pretty close under the gun. Maybe at a table like this is 3-bet happy. You can probably let this one go. Really, the only suited ace below a 10 you should open under the gun is maybe ace 5.
Good price here for Trick Time to come along with the Jack 8 offsuit.
Yep, here in the straddle. They're very deep. This is all good and fine. Top pair for Skydiver Scott. Middle pair for Umid with an overcard. Backdoor diamonds, Trick Time with a bunch of nothing. Umid's not going anywhere. And Skydiver actually likes to donk here with his top pair. He doesn't want this flop to check through. Trying to get value from things like ace king. However, he does not like that card. Brings in all the draws.
Umid has 1 out.
I say he doesn't like this card, but he likes it enough to run a little bit of a bluff ski here. I think that's in fact exactly what he's doing.
From Skydiver Scott's going to take it down. $2,500 pot. Making it happen with the 10-9 off out of position. Man, I'm ready for a big one already.
I know, right?
We
got so spoiled.
I know. We get the huge ones at the very beginning, and then you have to come down from that. It's like the only way you're going to feel better is if the pots get bigger and bigger. And I just speak for the chat when I say, let's play another massive one, bro.
Let's play big boy pot. Give me something big, big, big. We have almost probably over 200,000 on the table. I haven't done the math, but a lot of money on the table. I want to see it in the middle, as I'm sure everyone else does. Pete Snow waking up ace queen offsuit and small blind puts in the 3 bets over Leo's button open. All very fine, standard. Leo, I think, is at the very bottom of his range here. I like his decision to go ahead and fold. Maybe Kington suited. You make a flat call. You see flop. Kington offsuit's not going to hold up often enough, though.
Saint Pete Snow, an enigma, taking it down. I'll be interested to see how he establishes himself with this crew.
Thus far, I've liked what I've seen. Made the light call on the flop, ace king high with queens. Got to do that sometimes, especially against a play like Trick. Putting in 3 bets against button opens. I like to see all that stuff. Very good. I can't imagine that he's putting $13,000 on the table, and doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. Yeah.
A little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely takes some level of confidence to sit at this table. This isn't like a stumble into the casino to play 1-2 situation.
Yeah. Unless you got all the money.
That's right.
Oh, let's see. Pete riding his momentum here, not getting any love from the bunch of rags here in the blinds. He's going to take down yet another pot. little mini heater he's on. 2 hands in a row.
Tiny heater, but he wants to play a big one as we want to see them play a big one. As JD shares his archaeological find, big piece of amber there, it looks like. Be interested to see what's in it. It's usually some type of preserved insect.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's amber with like a mosquito in it from like 4 million years ago or something,
Yeah.
100 million years ago. Who knows? It does. It looks like it's got a mosquito in it, like a giant Jurassic age mosquito.
That's sick.
That is sick. Yeah, those kind of things are really cool. I always love to see really fun card protectors. Everybody in the chat, throw out the coolest card protector you guys have seen. This is definitely one of the best that I've seen. I like JD's style with this one. I've also seen a spider encased in resin as a card protector. Shout out to Eric.
Interesting.
And yeah, that one's fun. A lot of dealers don't like that one, especially some of the lady dealers. It kind of freaks them out. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, the card protector.
Well, all the clubs here.
King 7-10 here. Skydiver Scott top 2, backdoor diamonds, and second pair for John Ryan here.
Who's going to continue on this board, which is fine. I mean, you have a lot of showdown value, but this hand also needs a lot of protection versus multiple players. I don't think a small bet is all that crazy. Skydiver Scott not even slowing down for a second, putting in the raise, trying to target a king here, and apparently a 10 because John Ryan is going nowhere whatsoever. 8 on the turn. Shouldn't change much for either player. Maybe some draws have a pair now. Something like 9-8, but
Skydiver Scott not one to stop betting here. Looks like he bets full pot, 3,400.
Yeah, looks like it.
Now John Ryan kind of in an uncomfortable spot here with middle pair, okay kicker on this board that just could easily be connected to Skydiver Scott, of which it is, and he's
of which it is. Absolutely smash it, and he does elect to fold it, which is just fine.
Obsidian carved art, 50 cal shell.
That's overdoing it. Yeah, that's overdue. Those things are like gigantic.
That's what I gave away for groomsmen gifts for my wedding. I got everybody.
Oh, really? That's actually
50
awesome.
50 cal bottle openers, which I thought.
Oh, that's really cool. I got to shoot a 50 cal one time, and my God, the kick on those things.
And it's like $10 a bullet. I mean, I guess we're not supposed to talk about this stuff on here.
It's more than that. I'm sure.
I mean, we definitely shot all that in the Marines as well. Captain Underpairs said a specific handgun as well. Yeah, the card protector thing just seems like an extra step to me. But some people are superstitious. Some people just like to have a process by which they look at their cards and systematically put out their bets and such.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend a card protector if you're not one to hold on to your hand. I just hold my hand the entire time because I've had hands taken from me.
Yeah,
by accident. Dealers are human. It happens. So it's important to have 5-way flop here. Everybody kind of got something to play with. Top pair for Skydiver and John Ryan. Leo overcards, backdoor clubs. I like to check it over. I think that's great. Multi-way. JD overcards, dominated clubs with a little bit of straight equity as well. And Skydiver's going to bet his top pair here, which is perfectly natural, perfectly fine. Zane going nowhere.
Nick from Yuma with the 311 quotes. I like it. Amber's the color of your energy. That's right.
Oh, I love that song.
I've seen people's cards get taken too. If you're too cavalier with just leaving your cards out there, bro, that's probably going to get taken.
It's dangerous.
The dealer's in a rhythm and just like sees it from the corner of his eye, just going to sling it in there.
It happens. Zane turning a pair, however, not exactly the card he'd love to see. John Ryan still with the best hand per the moment. Leo actually came along with ace king high, actually getting really good odds to flat there. Most people are going to have just one pair type holding. So if you do bank an ace or a king, you're likely good the vast majority of the time. Implied odds from that are pretty good. And look at that. Ace on the river, giving Zane backdoor 2-pair.
Wow.
Leo spiking top pair, top kicker. Skydiver and John Ryan now way behind. I am amazed we saw Leo check that through, honestly. Very surprised. Zane also checked that card as well.
Wow.
Giving rope to 3 players. Not a crazy check from Zane by any means.
Skydiver Scott's
however,
trying to see how he can win against 3 players. It's pretty optimistic, I think.
Yep. And he is going to check it back. Zane with the best hand, in the worst position, going to take it down. Leo probably very thankful he didn't decide to bet his ace king there against the runner 2-pair. You love to see it.
Yeah, Jackie Wilbur. Seat 1 and 10 should always use a card protector. Dealers make mistakes. It's the player's responsibility to protect their hand. Absolutely.
It absolutely is. Yeah, it's
those are the 2 problem spots because it's like they're so close to the
they're so close. And if they're too close to the dealer, like it looks like you folded your hand. If like, you know, the instance that happened to me is like I had my cards in front of me. It was kind of, you know, ambiguous. It could have gone either way. And I was like turned around talking to my friend. And so it looked like I was just done, and I was done with the hand, and then the dealer folded it, and I turned around and I was like, where'd my cards go? And I had ace queen suited. You know, would have loved to see a flop with that hand. Would have turned the nut flush. You know, love to see it, but
ouch.
But it was my fault. I did not have my hand protected. So
Leo opened 5-6 suited to 300. Trick time called with pocket 4s, the fake aces. Umid called with queen 10 as well. John Ryan, he's got 100 invested, facing a $200 raise with Jack 9.
Yeah, he's getting a good price. I think this is a more natural call if it's suited, but when you're getting this massive of a private price, it's not crazy to get in there, especially when everyone else could have pretty capped ranges. Oh my God, and look at the flop. Wow, what? Top 2-pair for John Ryan, a straight for Umid.
Yikes, bro.
Gutter ball to the bottom end for Leo. Oh, wow. How does this flop check through? How does that check? How?
Queen on the turn.
That is insane. Terrible card.
700 out there, and Umid now no longer has the nuts, but still feels okay about his hand versus 1 player.
Putting in the bet. I'm really surprised we saw Umid check that flop. Slow playing, not the time there, I don't think. 7 on the end. Changes nothing. Still Umid with the check mark. John Ryan not going to check it over. Umid going to squeak out more value here for his straights. John Ryan's got a hand to pay him off, though. When there's a 4-liner out there, it's still a pretty rough call, rough place to be in. Umid's definitely saying he's got a 10 at this point. You don't even have the best 2-pair.
Yeah, that card
it's a rough spot to be in.
The queen, I mean, it just got worse and worse in terms of Umid's prospect of making more money. I mean, John Ryan might call here, but if it comes 4 deuce.
He's got chips in his hand. Yeah, I think if Umid had c-bet that flop, John Ryan may have checked raised. We could have seen piles go in. However, Umid going to take down a 3.5K profit there on the end. He says, I flopped it, my guy. John Ryan honestly lost the minimum there. Maybe could have folded it on the end, but you can't always fold in those spots. Your opponent's going to might try and bluff you a lot, and I think he maybe knows Umid is capable of doing just that. So
yeah, I imagine a better opportunity would be to bet on the flop when you're facing 3 or 4 other players. You know, it's tempting to want to be sneaky with flopping the nuts, but it's a very vulnerable hand there. Even just cards that came out that kill your action. Like it may not lose you the hand, but it might lose you some action if you don't get it in there on the flop.
Exactly, and we saw that play out exactly in that fashion. And the real important aspect about flopping a straight in that particular way is that you don't block any pairs on the board. So you can get all the value from ace jack, from exactly what John Ryan had, jack 9, etc. 8-9 if somebody flop bottom 2, and they're likely going to put in a raise because their hand is also very vulnerable. So there was a lot of opportunity for money to go in there. Next hand, though, 5 ways to the flop. Everybody kind of with rags for the most part. Whiffs just about
Mate, middle pair, backdoor diamonds.
Peck has a gutter.
69. Mike Youngbutt, dude talking in the chat. Nets, Bucks, and TCH Live. The way. That's right. Watching and he liked. What's up, Mike?
Love it, bud. Nice to see you in here. How'd he do in his tournament? I didn't even see on Sunday.
I don't know. I heard him
Hope he
commentating later in the evening, so I'm assuming he didn't ship it. But
Oh, well, hopefully he at least made a deep run.
yeah, let us know, Mike, unless it's too painful to think about, which I wouldn't blame you. All right, so double gutter here for Peck now. Zane here with he turned a flush draw to go along with his bottom pair.
Yep, I don't think he's going anywhere. Nate's currently the best hand at the moment. However, Zane gets there. Flush on the end.
Nice couple hands here for Zane. He might be turning into a little heater.
Just a little.
Joe, the blue and white chips in the front are $1,000. Pinks are $500. Blacks are $100. Greens are $25. Reds are $5, and the different white chips are $1. But
yeah, the smaller white chips are $1.
Yeah, the bigger bluish chips are $1,000 US dollars.
Yeah, sky blue on the edges. And Peck actually leading out here with a stone utter bluff here.
Nice check here from Zane
in the straddle.
Results wise.
Yeah, and Peck's bet here isn't crazy. He's going to have all the suited combos of diamonds that get there when he's getting priced in the straddle. He's going to have the most of them anyway. Zane, however, of course, going nowhere, gets snap called. Peck says, I got jack high. Yeah, I don't think just a flat call is crazy there. You don't have the nut diamonds. You're not going to get called by too much worse in that spot. So I think the call was probably the best play there, most optimal, I would say. Maybe if you got a real calling station of a player you're going against, which Peck is not, then you could go for a raise for some thin.
Do you know if the stream is behind the dealer tonight?
You know what? I don't. I will find out though. Yeah, last week, usually every week we have got a big old TV right there behind J-Nick, and they like to put the stream on behind it so these players can all see what everybody showed up with 15 minutes ago. Adds an interesting dynamic to the game.
So I wonder.
However, last week they elected to not have it.
I'm wondering if that influences whether or not Peck shows there or not, because it's like irrelevant if the stream's behind them. Like he might as well just show it. But if they're not showing the stream, then I get why he didn't show. Ace Jack 4
Umid
here.
and Peck holding each other's outs, man. Look at this.
Yikes.
Pocket eights for two players. Pete betting his second pair. Umid going nowhere at all. Drawing nearly dead. Deuce on the turn. Utter brick. Pete now checking it over. Umid checking it back. That's great. 4 on the end. Pete now getting the check mark. I was just told that they do not, in fact, have the stream on behind them. They've actually got a nature documentary for all the soothing nature sounds you could ever ask for at a poker table. Got David Attenborough going in the background. What more do you want? What more do you want? Charlie C says, smash the thumbs up for these dudes. Absolutely. Thank you, Charlie, for peer pressuring everybody else in the chat. We got 1,200 of you in here. Only 206 likes. That's not enough. I'm setting the goal for at least 500 tonight. I know you guys can do better than that. Even.
Oh, yeah. 1,200 people in here right now? Absolutely.
Yeah. Do us a solid. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. That way you can keep up with all of the high-stakes poker action we have pumping out here at TCH Live in Dallas. JD opening up King Queen offsuit in the cutty. John Ryan flat calling with 10-9. And Peck in a really pretty squeeze spot here with pocket nines. Elects to go for it. Leo gets well out of the way. So does everyone behind. Big squeeze. Love the size. 1.5K. And JD actually makes a very disciplined fold. I think a lot of people might get suckered in there. I know squeezes often can be interpreted as being light. and you're in position. But the majority of the time, calling there with king queen offsuit is going to lose you a bit of money. John Ryan is not deterred even for a moment, though, and comes along with the 10-9 offsuits.
3,500
Peck in position
in this
here.
pot. Heads up blind versus blind. Wow, big
Let's see
call
what we
there
got.
pre-flop. Looks like there's
Let's
some
see what we
paint.
got on the flop. Oh yeah, definitely some paint. Something in the middle there. Peck, if there's any Broadway cards out there, Peck has an absolutely massive range advantage. King on the board. John Ryan checks it over with nothing but 10 high and a dream. No, not even any. He has 0 backdoors. He has like 0 backdoor. He's drawing to exactly a 10. Which he cannot imagine is good on this board. Peck going to c-bet range here. John Ryan snap folds it. And Peck going to take this one down.
Some blind on blind violence from Eric Gise. I'm not sure how to phonetically say that, but you're right. It was some blind on blind violence. John Ryan is not one to fold to a 3-bet, as he showed with the 10-9 off. You know, sometimes maybe he binks a 10 there, but not this time. Peck is a gamer as well. This man is pretty good at the 2-card game.
Oh, so he knows what he's doing.
He's going to put the pressure on in the spots that he needs to. Trick time. Haven't heard from him in a bit. This is what he does, man. He splashes for the first 30 minutes and then changes gears almost like clockwork.
Yeah, I think he is really filling out the table, trying to see who's going to call him down light. Maybe pick out the people that might be a little more inclined to fold to his aggression. Obviously, he's played a lot with some of these players, but definitely some new faces for him on the table, I'm sure. Nate to open it up, king 9 offsuit in the +3. Gets over Umid's limp here. Given that there's a limp in the pot, I'm actually surprised we didn't see Nate open a little bit bigger. And Scott ever Scott, man, in the straddle. Jack 6 offsuits. He played queen 6 offsuit a couple hands ago. Why would this be any different?
Man, that's one of my least favorite hands, Jack 6. It just doesn't coordinate at all. Not even fun to look at.
It is as bad as 7 deuce. 7 deuce is at least kind of fun in the sense it's like, I have the worst possible hand. It's Nate gonna c-bet top pair here, which I think is good, needs a lot of protection, and just take it down right now. You're happy with that result on a monotone board. So good decision there.
Bitcoin Nate scooping another one. Mad Benjamin. Good evening, TCH Dallas. Good evening, Mad Benjamin. The best name in the game. Benjamin. 10, 25, 50, 100 to the moon. This game is higher than I could ever comprehend, and it continues to get bigger. We're going to see, I'm speaking it into existence, a $65,000 pot.
Oh, it's going to happen. Once. It's going to happen in the last 5 minutes of the stream.
Yeah. So you might as well stick with us until the conclusion.
Yeah.
We're going to be here until
you guys
10 p.m.
Stay here. Leo opening up in the blinds, getting no love for it, however. Not the worst result when you're in the worst position with offsuit Broadway. A lot of flops you don't want to see.
Says, your dealer's a machine. He's on point and gets them out fast. Yeah.
Oh,
this dude, J-Nick
is
a prodigy or a phenom.
Yeah, phenom. Good word, phenom. Yeah, he's probably the fastest dealer, one, if not one of the fastest dealers we have here. Just lightning fast, getting them out. Look at that. Look at him go.
With accuracy.
Loves his job. Been doing it for what? He's probably like maybe 30. So he's been doing it for like 12 years now.
Gee.
Monster of a dealer.
Did Zane just fold ace-10 off the middle position there? I think he might have.
He might have. Yeah, maybe that could be an open majority of the time, but it's not a hand that holds up well to 3-bets. You got an action player on your left.
Yeah.
Got a lot of action players in the blinds. Not a crazy, just open fold in my opinion. Peck gonna open it up Jack 10 suited here. Folds all the way around to trick time.
Charles Yarnold with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Charles.
Thanks,
Appreciate
bud.
the generosity. Thank you so much.
Love it. Umid calls king 4 offsuit in the straddle. Whiffs the flop. However, Peck flops pretty gigantic, range advantage, open-ended. Love to see it.
So Umid checks here. Peck bets 4, and Umid gets out of the way. Peck always has a significant stack at this game, even if he just buys it. Just towering
certainly does.
stacks of chips there. So baller. So we're playing 5100 in Dallas, Texas, live on YouTube. There's $200,000+ on the table, like a boss. It's Ben and Greg, dad and dealer talking in the booth and in the Zoom booth, coming at you on a 15-minute delay live Tuesday night from D-Town. I ain't from Texas, but I D-Town boogie. Someone wise once said that, and that's what we're doing tonight. Leo, he's good for the ace-10 off in the cutoff, 300.
Yeah, most definitely. And he's going to go ahead and just take it down.
Wah.
Seeing a little bit of some nothing hands here, but sometimes that's the game, ladies and gentlemen.
How's everybody faring with the heat? I guess my Texas and maybe even Florida fam in the chat. How's that heat hitting y'all? I'm already over it.
It is
one day in.
It is hitting hard.
It's not. It makes everything not fun.
My girlfriend right now is like loving this weather, and I'm like, what is?
No, dude.
No.
I'm out.
No, give me 75 degrees with a light breeze.
I'm just gonna like spend all my money on my utility bill now, freezing this place out because it's just so hot outside.
Peck still running hot. Ace King Zane with the same hand, different color, but Peck in position, putting in the 3-bet. John Ryan in the middle with pocket sixes. Trick time lets the Ace Queen offsuit go. Think that's great.
Oh yeah, because Peck made it so big, 1500.
Yeah, he made it gigantic. That's definitely a 4-bet or fold spot. But given that there's 2 other players in the pot, the ranges are relatively. Zane's range is uncapped at that point. So yeah, I definitely just want to just let him go.
Richard John Ryan actually said 117 in Phoenix, bro. Degrees.
Good God alive, that sounds terrible, man. That really does sound just horrendous. John Ryan, my God, did he flop a set? It looks like he flopped a set. No, he didn't. But he does have the best hand right now with a pair. Hard pair to defend against. However, this range is going to smash. Given that Zane elected to flat call Peck is probably putting this board well within the ranges of his 2 opponents. A c-bet here oftentimes is going to be suicide. So I do like the decision to check back.
137 in Yuma. You know, I believe it, especially if as Marines, there's a big base in Yuma, and if you're in the field, it inevitably ends up being miserable. Imagine it is 137. That must mean the Marines are in the field.
I'm sure. Here we go. Everyone just checking this around. Not surprised to see this at all. King on the end, though. Chop between Peck and Zane. One of the last kings in the deck comes out. However, it does put a 4-liner out there. This might check through once again. I would not be surprised whatsoever. Zane may elect to lead out here. He's going to have a lot more jacks in his range than Peck. John Ryan, and I like the check there. Very solid checks all the way around. You love to see it.
70 right now in Milwaukee. Wow.
That sounds nice. Can I move to Milwaukee?
That's outstanding, bro. Orange Fanta for the win. I'd like to see us get up to 2,000 tonight. I think if the right people share with their friends, family, and enemies, we could get up to 2,000 watching. We got, what did we get up to when Nimi was here?
Like 4,500 was the max.
4,500. You know, eventually that's going to be the standard. We're only growing.
Every week we get more and more viewers.
Live poker. Be sure to share the link to the stream. With them,
guys,
let's grow this thing.
Share us on Twitter, hashtag TCH Live. Tell your friends, tell your family. Let them know about all the insane high-stakes action we have here at Dallas Card House. Did we see 6-5 suited fold?
KK Luciano, what's the min buy him? 10,000 US dollars, a single stack of high society.
10
you dare.
grand. 10 grand. And my God, Skydiver Scott dares to put in the 3-bet 7-4 suited in the cutoff. Leo, pretty raggedy ace. It is suited, but playing that out of position is going to lose you money a lot of the time. Maybe if he knew a little bit more about Skydiver Scott, knows that he's certainly not going to have a linear 3-betting range there. He could be doing that light, as we just saw. Maybe he could have found a call there. However, given the fact that he's out of position, you're just going to lose that pot the vast majority of the time. So I do like his decision to let that weak ace go.
Jay Hamilton said 71 in Denton. I don't believe you, Jay Hamilton.
I don't believe you. No, you are an absolute liar right now.
IS is 420 in Colorado. My son's birthday. I believe you. 420 in Colorado for sure. For sure.
Ryan Gallegos, why you got to make me jealous? 69 degrees in Oregon. Oh, man.
Oregon's
beautiful. I've never been.
Oh, very fun.
I would love to go.
A lot of playable hands here. Leo opened up ace jack suited and 3 callers. Suited ace, trick time, same suit for Zane, jack 10, and as well as Nate. 3, 4, 9, 2 diamonds. Okay. So middle pair here for Nate and flush draw.
Oh my God.
Zane and trick
How
time
many
both
diamonds
have
are in
draws.
How many diamonds are in the deck right now?
Yeah, that's wild.
Too many. Trick time here in the cutoff. Obviously going to put in a bet with the nut flush draw. Once nobody's taking a stab at this, I definitely think he could probably get this through a lot of the time. However, Nate's going to make the flat call with the 4 high flush. Zane. Diamond draw as well. Backdoor straight equity. All the pairs are live in this instance. I don't think Leo's going to find a call with the ace jack high. John Ryan gets well out of the way with this 4. Facing this kind of aggression. It's not crazy. Leo actually, once again, getting a pretty massive price to try and just smash a pair, both of which would be good in this instance. However, he does elect to let it go.
So everyone, watch this be flush over flush over flush. Are there even enough cards for that?
There are. And oh my God, you called it. Oh my God, bro. You called it. Straight flush draw for Zane. 4 high flush for Nate.
Dude, let's
nuts right now.
$70,000 pot going.
Oh, we're seeing stacks flying here. Zane can't fold. He has redraw outs to the uber nuts.
Dude, if a queen of diamonds comes on the river,
I quit.
My computer.
I quit if the queen comes out. Wow. This is insane.
Straight up betting 2,200 here.
Just
trick time.
Donks into trick here. Wow.
He's got everybody covered.
Oh yeah, Trick gotta wonder here. What else would Zane be doing this with, other than a very, very strong hand, a set, or maybe he had ace king. Doubtful in the blinds, but the most likely holding is that he's gonna have a flush here that can't fold. And I love Trick. Oh, he's just gonna make the flat call. I was gonna say if he put in a raise there, he would have really been accurately ranging his opponents, because it's so unlike. Like what else does Zane have leading on the turn? And Nate getting in there as well.
The amount of time trick time took maybe made his opponents think differently, because he usually acts super quick.
Yeah.
But man, what a huge pot. Ace on the river.
Maybe he was also flatting to try and keep Nate in the middle. That's also very possible.
So. Yeah,
something I did not consider. Trick time with the check mark. Maintains the nuts.
Zane's got a bet here. He's got
he's got
to think that trick time is as strong as he is.
Yeah, you got to go for value here a lot. Targeting a 9, targeting any binked king, ace on the river now. Definitely got to go for value. Trick's got an ace, but he doesn't need it. And Zane putting out a big bet. Big bet. 4.3K. It's a little small relative to the size of the pot, but that's $4,300, everybody.
4,300 from trick time. Zane was drawing to a straight flush if the queen of diamonds hit, but it does not hit on the river.
Does not.
Trick time maintains the absolute nutter butters.
The nutter butters. I think given the stack depth here, the only play he has left is to ship it and hope that somebody's got something to call with. Given that there are 2 other players in this pot, somebody's going to have something interesting. A lot of interest shown in this pot, I think. And he does ship it in. I love it. I love that decision.
Nate hates this. He's
Nate,
probably gonna
pretty
quickly
rough
fold.
spots. However, I mean, I don't know. It's still a rough spot. I mean, your flush is 4 high, but flush over flush is so rare. And then, given that there are 2 other people aggressing in the pot, you got to wonder. And Trick Time's also capable of doing this light with something like Ace X of diamonds.
Dude, this is a disgusting spot here for Nate. I mean, and Zane as well. They are gonna really
Zane
feel the pain.
I think Zane just gets stacked here. Nate maybe can get away from it.
Trick Time trying
I don't
to
know.
keep his composure.
It's not crazy for Zane to fold either. You only have the 3rd nuts right now. And I think if Nate flat calls, Zane would probably be more likely to fold. But they've seen these are the spots that Trick Time waits for, playing aggressive, showing a bunch of cards, showing a bunch of bluffs, etc. Because he's got it now. He has them. He has the nuggets. And there's $42,000 in the middle, ladies and gentlemen. This is an absolutely massive pot. Cooler over cooler here.
How often do we see flush over flush?
It's not off. Oh my God! And Nate called. He calls. Oh my God! And Zane,
$60,000 pot. What did I say before the start of this hand?
Oh my God! And Zane in a terrible spot. He might fold given that Nate flat called here. Oh my God! Right? Yeah, I know. Like how can Jack high flush ever be good? And he does fold. Good fold. Nate getting max valued here, shows the flush, and I'm sure Zane's going to say something. I folded the Jack high flush, yada yada.
$60,000 US pot headed over to our friend Trick Time. Massive pot.
Wow.
Does that deserve a like, chat?
Oh, it does. Oh, it does. Gosh. There's even more in the chat now. 1.4 thousand. We're only at 279 likes. I know you guys got likes in you.
Absolutely sicko hand. J Nick once again dealing out the absolute cooler of coolers. I mean, I don't know if that's technically a cooler, but it's a brutal.
That's
one way or the other.
Oh, coolers all the way around. I'm surprised that Zane's money isn't the one that went in versus Nate's, but definitely coolers all the way around. That is cooler over cooler over cooler. Cooler hand.
It rounds up to 100,000. That's a $60,000 pot headed over to Trick Time, and this is why you're not shy and you rebuy at this game.
And that's why you rebuy.
Oh my gosh!
Good Lord, what a hand! I cannot believe that king rolled off. That's insane.
To Trick Time, just smooth calling there on the turn in between Nate and Zane to get Nate to come along and eventually call off $17,000 on the river.
I mean, I think either way, Trick Time was getting paid off there.
Yeah.
He just gets paid in those spots. What an insane hand. Too many diamonds in the deck dealer. J Nick, my man, putting them out there.
And Zane is so grateful that Nate.
Oh yeah. Seriously. Oh man. Nate saved Zane 15 grand right there.
Whew. Yeah, that one's going in the highlight reel, I think. And it's all props to J Nick and Trick Time, I guess. Really fun hand.
Woo. What a crazy run out there. All the flush draws getting there on the turn.
Somebody run the
numbers on that one.
Yeah.
Very, very unlikely. I know one of you's got us on that. You guys can definitely let us know in the chat. How likely is it to be
and I don't know
3 flushes on the turn?
How many diamonds were folded either? I mean, I think that's probably
it had to have been most of them. Or I don't know. I mean, they're all in the hands. It could have been none of them, and then there's actually a lot of diamond outs on the turn. Who knows? I didn't see the graphics, so
pretty cool hand. I tried not to scream at the top of my lungs like we usually do to preserve the eardrums of everyone, but sometimes this game is just too. Oh man, it's got too much going on.
Peck flopping open-ended here in the straddle. Skydiver's got 2 overcards. Nate, gutter ball, backdoor diamonds, overcards. Checks all the way around, all fine. Picks up the diamond on the turn, pairs the top card. Nobody's shown interest in the pot just yet. I think Peck could pretty reasonably represent an 8 here, given that his range is fairly uncapped on this board. He could have all the boats, he could have all the straights. But he could also have a lot of draws as well. Nate with the second nut flush draw, going nowhere at all. Still good right now by a mile. Brick on the end. Oh man, what a beautiful card for Peck to continue repping here. Everything gets there, or rather, the obvious draw gets there. Not everything by any means, but Peck does elect to continue. Nate with nothing but king high folds the best hand. Peck getting it done.
Nate just rebought for 30K. Is that what happened?
That's what it looks like to me. 30 G's on the table. He wants his money back.
Mike McDermott worth of a rebuy there. 30K.
Oh, yeah.
Golly, bro. Just like without blinking an eye, man. I think I got $30 in my wallet. Maybe.
Burnell Harris in the chat. Why don't we see vloggers in this game? My man, tune into the stream last week. We had Andrew Nemi and Brad Owen, the two vloggiest of vloggers
yeah.
on the stream. We have Lex O Poker on this stream. We had Sam Clark Poker from the UK. We had
I think Too Close to Broke is in the house currently. I don't know if he's playing on the stream tonight.
Oh, really? Oh, awesome. Yeah. Yes, we got all the vloggers, my man. You got to do some digging. Go back in the archives and do us a favor, pump up the viewership on some of the older videos and like them while you're at it.
That the vlogger stream content. Surely has over 100,000 views now. I think.
It was
well
like up there.
I'm just gonna find it.
Wow, Pete Snow just flopping absolutely gigantic, and John Ryan paying him off light. Ace Queen, not even a crazy call there. Honestly, paired board, super dry. Your opponent has a range advantage, but you have the nut nothing, so you have like the exact hand to pay off your opponent with. If Pete has something like ace 7 suited,
it's got 90,000 views.
90,000. That's still outrageous. Yeah. Love to see it. We'd love to see it. John Ryan gonna fold ace high on the end. Haven't seen Pete Snow lose a hand yet. I think he's up about $6,000 or $7,000 just because he has been taking him down every time he's in the middle. He's in the middle.
Look, I'm not trying to wish pain on anybody.
But we
with
want
Trick
the pain.
Time having 60,000 behind and multiple players with over 30K,
No, we need some pain.
I want to see a six-figure pot.
Oh,
tonight.
no, misdeal. There's the misdeal. Hand them back, everybody. Happens. Don't get too frisky with your cards, ladies and gents. Let the dealer finish. Twan fan, flush over flush according to poker listings is 0.0023% chance of happening. I'm not going to read the rest of that number. You guys can see in the chats. Very low. That's what it is. Very, very low chance of happening.
We just witnessed a very slim chance of it.
An anomaly is what they call those.
Awesome. Oh, Twan says 0.23%.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Carry decimal 2 places.
Yep. I thought that sounded even a little low. I was just like, oh, that's crazy. Is it really that small? But
still 0.23% is very slim.
Yeah, very slim. 0.1%. Here we go. Umid versus JD. Cutoff versus +3. JD way out flopping Umid. However, Umid does have second pair on a pretty wet board. Not crazy for him to pay JD off a little bit here. And he does elect on a call coming along for the ride. Can't fold just yet, I don't think. JD could be c-betting here pretty liberally with his whole range. Break on the turn. Changes nothing. JD got to go for more value, I think. Don't want to give a free card to hearts, even though you do have a blocker, very relevant blocker. But I like his decision to go for more value. Umid he didn't even almost beat him into the pot. Makes the snap call. 3 on the end. No help to anybody.
Oh yeah, JD with 38,500 behind.
Man,
I'm
look at
expecting
the
a big one coming.
numbers on this table. Crazy. Somebody added up for me. I keep trying to snap a quick pick of the dollar amounts here.
We're headed towards 1,500 watching on a Tuesday night. It's 7:30. We're here till 10 p.m. Plenty of live poker action for you. It's Dad and Dealer talking with you until 10 p.m. on TCH Live.
I still want a better nickname than Dealer Talking.
Yeah.
I want
It's just gotta
something.
happen organically. You know?
Yeah, I know. It's got to happen. Chat, where are you guys at? I'm surprised I haven't heard anything from you yet about it.
That's a dangerous thing to ask.
It is a little bit. But there's got to be, there's probably a diamond in the rough somewhere. So I'm sure somebody will put out something clever. Bit of a nothing flop here. Very dry board. Pocket fives ahead at the moment. Nate, however, range advantage, backdoor, yada, yada. Going to get the best hand fold. Lays it down with a little bit of aggression.
All right, the dust is settling a bit after that $60,000 pot. Trick time just with stacks of those blue $1,000 chips. Man.
The All In Poker Podcast in the chat. Thank you very much. It's Tuesday. Where else would we be?
That's right.
You're damn right, my guy. Where else would you guys be? 1.4 thousand of you.
YouTube screens.
Happy to see each and every one of you tuning in on a weekday night just to listen to us talk. Totally not for the poker, just for me and Ben. That's why you're here. Liking the stream is like tipping the commentators. Is it? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Nate flopping open-ended here. Excuse me, gutter ball. Trick time picks up top pair. John Byrne, did TCH get rid of the plaques? Yes, we did. We swapped out the plaques. They were taking out a little bit too much real estate. We now have those sky blue rimmed frisbees for $1,000 chips. Vastly preferred by most of these players here. The plaques get a little hard to manage. They are really cool. I like the plaques a lot aesthetically, but handling them is a bit of a task sometimes. And whenever these guys buy in for 40 grand, they basically have to build a castle with them. So they do take up a little bit of room. David Paul says, is Tricky winning? Tricky is up like 30 grand, man. He is winning by a mile. John Ryan just limping in, the queen nine suited, and the hijack. I think this could go for an open, but limp calling strategy, if you want to start implementing that on a 3-bet happy table, is not crazy. Scott over Scott coming in the blinds, 10-7 suited, umid, king jack off in the straddle. Perfectly reasonable hand to flat, see a flop with. Check over to John Ryan, who smashed top pair. Fortunately, nobody else has much to pay him with. Kind of been the story. Oh, except for Umid, who's calling with king high here, no club. Everybody hates that card. Umid picks up second pair. However, it's not the card he was looking for. He's probably looking for an offsuit king. John Ryan going to check it back here as well. If Umid wants to get spicy, he could turn his hand into a bit of a bluff here, putting out a bet with the 4 to the flush out there. That takes some heart. John Ryan in a miserable spot. You can't even call here.
No
That's
way.
terrible. Yeah, snap folds. Umid taking it down. Raw aggression there on the monotone board and the even more monotone turn.
Sinister creation, really appealing to our egos. I don't even know who you two are, but I'd rather listen to you than Joe Stapleton.
Well, you got Ben Kirby and Greg Potter in the chat. You know us now, my man.
Oh, you definitely know us.
Infamous. So thank you. Infamous.
Never to be forgotten.
Thank you for the love, sir. Appreciate it.
That's hilarious. I don't know who you two are. You know what? I don't blame you. Not many people should know who we are.
No one knows who you are, man. Seriously, I get that. I get asked that. I'm here like every day, but everyone's like, "Who is this Ben Kirby guy?" I remember the day of the vloggers being here last week. I got asked that question 5 times
That's
in
hilarious.
like an hour. That's why when you walked across the room, I was like pointing at you. I was like, "That's the man. That is the dude you all
He's the
needed
phantom
to
that only
see."
shows up to commentate.
Yeah, seriously. Here we go. Nate flopping middle pair and a gutter. Umid overcards and Peck with nothing but some backdoor equity. Nate picking up trips on the turn, gets the check mark. Umid actually leading out. Once the flop checks through, he's running a bit of a bluff here. Nate with just a flat call. I love it. Maybe could go for a raise if there was a little more action on the flop. But given that nobody showed any interest here, you don't have to be too worried about straights or flush draws. And Peck coming along. Nothing but king high in a dream. Queen on the river gives Umid top.
Uh-oh.
Not going to see him slow down at all.
Ruh-roh.
Nate now getting the max for the 10-8 suited in the straddle. Getting a little bit back here. I think this is the time when you really need to start going for a bit of a raise. And it looks like he agrees with me. You can get all the value from Queen Jack, any spiked queen, maybe a little bit from a Jack, something like Jack 10, Ace Jack, but it's unlikely. Nate makes it gigantic and gets paid off by Umid, rivering top pair, top kicker. Very well played by Nate, picking up a little bit of a win after the massive flush over flush cooler situation we saw happen earlier.
Battling back $6,600 pot there for Nate. He's got a ways to go, but he's got the chips to make it happen. He's just one double up away from being back in the black. He's down about, I don't know, 20,000 maybe, 15, 20,000. But that's what it takes. He's still in it.
Visionary
He's got a
Fitness,
ton of chips.
the best TCH commentators. You guys are the nuts. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Or maybe we are nuts for continuing.
Yeah, maybe a little of both, honestly. Zane, big slick in the +1, opening it up.
I'll be sure to tell my therapist that later. Yeah, everybody at the poker room said nobody knew you. Nobody knew me.
We're nuts. Oh, that, yeah. Yeah, no, that is funny. That is so funny.
But it's funny because, in poker environments, everybody knows each other because you're there for 10 hours a day. Because I've been parenting, I haven't been there.
Yeah, you got like responsibilities or something.
It's overrated. Responsibilities.
It is. Sounds like it. All in Poker Podcast. Oh, you guys are nuts for sure. Thanks, man.
It takes a certain kind of person to talk into a computer screen for 4 straight hours.
Yeah.
About a card game.
About a card game. A very fun card game. Action.
That's right.
Generating card game here at TCH.
An ever-changing, imperfect card game that's got huge dollar signs and crazy personalities.
Huge monetary implications in a game like this one. Over $200,000 on this table. John Ryan took the jacket off. The man is serious now, coming in for the limp with the Jack 9 off suits.
It's kind of like when you're playing video games and you finally lean forward after you get serious.
Right.
Doing. As if that's going to change much, but somehow it does.
Oh, that's just when you're in overdrive, man. You got to lean in, you get closer to the screen.
That's right. Just
now you have
eyeballs.
Yeah, exactly. Burn your eyeballs. You now have the screen is in your full view. You can use your periphery a little more for those snap moments. I play a lot of video games, so
that's right.
The lean in is real, man.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Open-ended for John Ryan. Zane here with an inside straight draw. Looks like he bets 300.
Yep, and middle pair for 2 players here. This looks like this was a limped pot. I like Leo's decision to get in there and limp with the 7-8 suited. Definitely a hand that can play multi-way very well. Flops massive when it does. And we are seeing the turn with 4 players.
Ouch.
Ace, nobody loves. Nobody likes that card. Not even a little bit. Leo still with the best hand right now, the check mark. And it doesn't look like anyone's wanting to represent the ace just yet. I think Leo going to check this card almost 100%. 9 on the end, giving Zane
Ooh,
the
the
straight.
gutter ball there for Zane. Kind of a sneaky one.
Definitely very sneaky. John Ryan now with a pair. Once this flop checks, or excuse me, the turn checks through, not crazy for him to have put out a bet if Zane elected not to. But I do like Zane's decision to put out a bet. Try and get any 10 to call you, any ace. There's a ton of value targets you have here. And you got the second nuts. You got to go for something. Got to go for the gold here. And oh my God. And Leo.
Huge bet.
Leo putting in the raise $3,000. Zane snap calling. Leo says, I got like third pair, my guy. And Zane getting the max.
$8,000 pot for Zane, hitting the gutter ball on the river. Wow, bro. You like the heart, but the specific spot did not work out. The Pacific spot did not work out for Leo there. Yikes, dude.
Yeah, I think if you were going to run a bluff there on that hand, I do like Leo's sizing. You could put a lot of pressure on any ace trying to go for some thin value, any 10 that was trying to go for thin value, etc. So definitely, as you said, I like the heart. I like the size. However, you sort of ran into it, my man.
Yeah, that sucks.
If you don't bluff into the best hand or a really strong hand, you're probably not bluffing enough.
Absolutely. Unfortunate to not get a bluff through. Makes you kind of gun shy for making them in the future. But this table,
I don't know. Leo put 3K right back on the table, so I don't think he's going to be gun shy. He's going to be gunning for those chips that he lost. We got another misdeal. What's happening? What is happening, J-Nick? Wait, it looks like everybody's got 2 cards though. What happened?
I'm not sure.
Who knows? This is where we need table
The
mics.
button didn't move.
A button in the wrong spot. Got it.
At least they caught it before the betting happened. Back at it. J-Nick, it takes him 6 seconds to get a new deck out there, so not too worried about it.
Nope, not at all.
Hand 45. We're an hour and 45 minutes in. I think that's a pretty good rate. What's the math? I don't know what the math is, but.
What'd you say, hand 45?
Yeah, hand 45. An hour and 45 minutes in. Trick time with the Cowboys.
It's like 25 hands an hour. The Dallas, as I've heard someone else call it, the Dallas Cowboys. Umid flat calling on the button, king jack suited, not unreasonable by any means. And John Ryan goes nowhere. 7-4 offsuit. If he wins his hand, I quit.
4-4-7, 2 diamonds.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow, case king.
Case king on the flop. Very relatively dry board texture. There's a flush draw out there, but it's not too connected. Otherwise, Umid going to lose money here.
You love flopping top set and betting and seeing the guy right next to you immediately grab chips.
Immediately, like, didn't even hesitate.
Are those $1,000 or those greens? I couldn't tell.
Those were greens.
Okay.
Flush draw comes in on the turn. I don't think either player likes that card at all. Trick time. Checking it over. Umid checking it back. Probably going to go bet call on the river. Ace, man, maybe not. Trick time.
Trick time's excited to see the ace, thinking like, oh, maybe ace queen got there. But he's going to.
I like his decision to check here a lot. Umid could be slow playing, and any ace is already going to bet itself the majority of the time, I think. So
sneaky top
sneaky,
set there.
Getting sneaky with top set,
which is a different pace for him, as he's usually really trying to put more and more in the pot, which is, I think, in the long term, I think it's a good move to try to switch it up. Make sure everybody's questioning what you have in every situation. Leo here, 10,000 behind.
Everyone said, my man Trick checked for 30 seconds straight. Yeah, he did. Did he just wake up with kings
There's
again?
No way. There's no way,
Oh my
bro.
God. Oh my God, dude.
He's even looking Like, is this really happening?
He's just
bro?
like, is this actually happening? Kings twice in a row. My God. And Umid
Um-
going to pay him off again with a very playable hand. Like, no, this is. You see JD fold pocket four? No way.
on the
he
button
folded.
or in the small blind?
Yeah, there's no
Maybe
way.
in the small blind.
I mean,
For 350 though, I don't know.
yeah, that's what he's
Peck
getting
with tens?
and Peck with pocket tens in the straddle. Another beautiful squeeze spot for pectoral here. Puts it in. Another gigantic raise, which I really like. Tens is very strong here the majority of the time. I wouldn't actually fault here, trapping a little bit. Maybe Umid behind is going to give him a little bit of reconsideration to that. And given the fact that he showed down King's last hand, are they going to really be like, really? You woke up with another hand the very next? You may not get the same level of respect this time around. It does look like he's going to trap here. Maybe. Nope. I lied. Didn't see him grab the frisbees. Umid, suited ace, rag. Going to let that go. Peck with pocket tens. Yeah, he may not believe Trick here all that much. Oh, these guys have got stacks. Too.
So
We might
much
see
money, 70,
go in.
80 plus thousand.
So much money. Ace, king, 10 flop. Here we come. Yeah, I agree with you, Boley. Let's make it happen. Actually, I'd like to see a king, 10, 3 flop with like 2 hearts. Two spades. How about that? And Peck is going to come along here with the pocket tens. Very defensible hand. Trick will be doing this pretty light. And like I said, you really going to wake up with kings 2 hands in a row? That's pretty insane. Ooh, that's a board that's we're seeing some chips go in.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Peck and Trick Time, both with an overhair. Peck with some outs, though. Any 10, any runner.
That's optimistic. I think
it's optimistic, but
he does have some outs, and we've seen crazier things happen on this stream.
We've seen crazier things happen. So,
look, again, I don't wish pain on anyone.
No, I do. You might
wish
not.
In a vacuum for this money to all go in the middle, and fate do the rest. Chat packs and tattoos. Oh.
TCH live moderator getting in the chat. Like spike till 8 p.m. Central. Can we get to 500 likes? We're not there already. Are you kidding me, guys?
Only 110 away. Let's go.
And Trick here leading out big relatively on this board. Peck in a pretty miserable spot.
His spidey senses are going off a bit.
I think so. He definitely
such a big bet.
He definitely looks like he's not in love with this spot, but
it's not in relation to the pot. It's not big, but objectively, it's a large.
No, that's $5,000, man. It's 5 G's. Trick Time could have a lot of ace, king, ace, queen here, and I did Peck go all in? Oh my God, Tricks. Oh my God.
And he snap calls.
Oh my God. Snap calls.
$62,000 pot, bro.
62 grand in the middle. Kings over tens. Peck drawing nearly dead. Drawing to a 10 or runner.
Trick
5 on the turn, no help.
Back pocket kings.
7 on the end, no help.
And they ran it once.
Trick time.
Okay. No.
Oh no, they are doing it twice. 2 times. Peck way behind here. 5, no help. Drawing to exactly a 10. Wow, same exact
runouts. Whoa.
What is happening?
What are the odds of that happening?
$62,000 pot going Trick Time's way. My guy. He's up like $60,000 on this stream.
So Peck getting stacked here, bro.
Oh my God.
All those chips headed over to Trick Time's seat. Oh my gosh, dude. What a massive pot. Trick Time has $93,000 behind, bro, and we've got 2 hours left in this stream.
What more do you want, people?
This man is winning like 60,000. And Peck, not to be deterred. Look at those stacks, bro.
Oh no, he's
Pulling out the
reloading.
bricks,
You
bro.
cannot get your money back by walking away.
Dude.
Oh my God.
It's TCH live Tuesday night, and we said we were gonna deliver, and we just delivered. You know,
Oh
got
yeah.
it. We had no
We're
real
coming
control over it.
through.
But golly, bro, 2 hours in, we've seen multiple $60,000 pots. Trick Time is pumped, bro. He's about to take his shirt off.
Oh, he's getting in the game now.
He's
He
almost
says,
got
"I'm here to
100,000
play."
behind.
Wow, what a hand!
Nick from Yuma says Trick-fil-A. That's right, bro.
Trick-fil-A.
You
I
just got
love
that
it.
_1 no pickles dealt from Trick-fil-A, bro.
No pickles. I like it.
Golly,
Why
Morgan
there are
Martinez,
pickles on that chicken sandwich? I will
solid
never know.
entertainment, absolutely, dude. He
Oh
had
my
back-to-back pocket kings.
Yeah, I
Flopped
know.
the set once and then
I'm
got
s-
it in for 60K.
I'm thinking that's why Peck maybe shipped there. He was giving Trick so many more other hands other than pairs. He's like, is he really gonna wake up with two monster pairs here? Is that really gonna happen? I seriously thought Trick got queens this hand. I was about to lose my mind. But Skydiver waking up with the queens. Trick time, suited ace.
Look
Very
at that
playable
stack
hand.
of blues. Those
And
are
he's
$1,000
not even
chips.
slowing down the three bets. Ace three suited. Umid calling the three bets. Ace three suited. Rags all the way around.
Trick had him covered. I think Peck paid in bigger chips and kept his smaller chips in front
Yeah,
of him.
no, these guys have backpacks full of chips after checking in at the cage. They've got them ready. They're ready to reload. And Scott just making a call here against two players. I would have expected to see a four bet, especially out of position, but he makes the flat call.
These are the nights that
you.
get you hooked on poker for a lifetime. When you run like this, where you can't even stack your chips quick enough.
Yeah, seriously, look at that. Like, he's just got piles in front of him. Revamp Skunk. Hope someone scoops a big pot using 6-9 of hearts. You know what? That is not out of line on this table. All right. Trick time to lead out here. Lead out with the ace three suited, representing range. Scott not going anywhere just yet. I like his decision to flat call at least one time after he slow played his queens pre-flop. 10 on the turn. I don't think either player likes that card especially much. Actually, Skydiver probably likes it a little bit. Got two pair. Trick time, checking it back, trying to spike an ace. Does not come. Skydiver with the check mark here. I like just a check call. No reason to lead. May as well let your opponent bluff at it. Checks it back, though. Skydiver going to pick up $2,900. Man, I'm still like, I'm shaking it off
coming
right
down
now. I'm
from
shaking
that
off
hand.
the
It's
adrenaline.
just so nuts, bro. You know, Peck putting the pressure on, check raising that flop. I mean, he's got an overpair, but man, I mean, how do you put your opponent on back-to-back pocket kings?
Yeah,
but
seriously.
Crazier things have happened on this table. It's TCH Live, and we do this every week, 6 nights a week, Sunday to Thursday. I'm sorry, Sunday. All right, how do you say this? Sunday to Thursday.
Yeah, there you go.
Saturday to Thursday.
There it is. You said the same thing 3 times. Right?
Words and math are hards.
Are hards, yeah. Love it.
Yeah, Saturday to Thursday, TCH comes at you live, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. most nights. Saturday and Sunday is more variable because it's the final tables of our tournaments for those days.
Yep. Oh, man, everybody gets kings showing up in full form tonight. JD waking up with them now. He gets a walk. Oh, no. He says, sucks. Where's my $60,000 pot with kings? Why don't I get one like that?
Dude, we could have...
Even though he did win a $40,000 pot with aces at the beginning.
True.
So I guess he can't complain too much.
I'm so glad the hands have been out of line tonight.
Oh, so
sometimes
crazy.
It can be more straightforward, but these hands, this is what the people want. And this is what I want to give the people. Look, he's got 40K in blues alone.
Yeah, I know. And that, like, he's still stacking his chips, man. Look at that. It's
baller.
It's insane to me. Just got a stack of frisbees. Stacks and stacks of frisbees.
So Umid limped, king 7 suited. Heads
Check
up
back.
versus the 3-5 of Skydiver Scott.
Pretty whiff of a board for both players. Check.
This is going to check all the way through.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Umid picked
king on the
up
turn.
king on the turn, and that's
For a
gonna
hundo.
that's gonna get it done. Chris F. It gets the people going. You're right. Francis Morgan, I just got here. Who double trick up? Well, first it was Nate, and then it was Peck.
Yeah.
Trick got stacked by JD early on, reloaded to 30 Gs, stacked Nate, gets kings back to back, and is now up $60,000. Or it's probably more like 50,000 considering he lost his first 10, 12K or so to JD. But man,
it's crazy. Umid raising to 250 with 2 red 5s. Nate calling, Jack 10 off. Zane pocket 9s, 26,000 behind. He's done pretty well for himself tonight so far. He's going to call the quarter K. Skydiver Scott definitely in there with the Queen Jack suited. He's got a royal flush draw after all.
Royal flush draw, and Trick now getting just absolutely massive pot odds here. Gonna call him straddle 8-7 off suits. Oh my god,
time,
dude!
bro.
He's just running pure. This is
I
bet he can't even believe how good he's running right now, and he's got 2 hands that are gonna pay him off.
And he's against 4 players.
Yeah, like the 9s are probably gonna pay him 1. Umid's probably gonna call. Wow, I'm surprised you saw Trick check again. I guess he's just giving him some rope to take a stab at it. 3 on the end. Trick still got the check mark.
He's gonna put a big one out there, I think.
Oh, he's got a bet now. He's like, oh, what?
Maybe it's a misread. Surely not.
No, he's got the 7. We can see it, but
what?
I am amazed we didn't see a bet there.
I'm
like blown away that we didn't see a set there or see a bet there.
KK That's Luciano, insane. Best stream so far, 100, only getting better. Thank you, KK.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bud.
Gee whiz, just checks all the way through. Maybe he was saying, "This is how good I'm running. I'm giving this one. I'm going easy."
Hey, you know what? Good for him. I wouldn't do that.
He's about to take a breather. It looks like, or maybe share the good news.
Yeah, Twitch clips in the chat says casual 1,800 big blinds, no big deal.
Yeah,
18 playable chips. How often can you say I have 1,800 big blinds? That's nonsensical. I know. And it looks like he's gonna color up because he needs it with so many chips on the table. Good Lord, man.
Golly, a good problem to have to be running out of real estate. In front of your seat. That's crazy. It's awesome. Must be nice. But he's still staying in it. You know, some people would take a huge win like this and just bounce, but not a great way to get reinvited to a big game. So he's staying around. I think he's just coloring up some of those smaller chips as we play this $500 PLO flip. It looks like with the dealer change. Old Trick-fil-A on a heater of all heaters playing 10, 25, 50, 100. He's going to be able to pay some bills this month if it continues this. Golly, almost $100,000 behind. I think he might be in for 30, maybe 40. Still plenty of profit to be had. I'm not going to pretend to walk you through this PLO flip because the action tracker is on its own for now. It looks like Peck, maybe here, Jackson Deuces is going to scoop for $4,500. Chris F., it's not invite only. You just email dallas@texascardhouse.com and you can get on the list if you've got the cheddar cheese for it. Tyler Bregenzer, he threw Trick Time some bigger denomination chips from his bag so that he didn't have to deal with pushing the smaller chips across the table since he was going to rebuy. Good question, though, because I was confused about that at first, too. Oh, Pete Snow is going to win it. Yeah, look at those chip counts here. A couple, 3 players with 30K plus. Trick time, over 90,000. How about down payment on a house? In this market, it's probably still not enough for a down payment on a house because this real estate market is just out of this world right now. It's a seller's market. Buyers out here are overpaying big time. Lenny Sheldon says the dealer's on point. Yeah, absolutely. The dealers here are outstanding and really make Texas Card House second to none because we just got the best dealers in the game. Almost 500 likes, 1,600 watching. Let's get to 2,000 viewers. We can do it, bro. We can do it. John Ryan, relatively quiet for the last hour or so. Bunch of rags for everybody. Skydiver Scott is going to play the 8-5 suit, and I'm willing to bet. He's going to raise it. 250. Trick time's out of there. Umid premium. Ace Jack suited. Calls. Heads up. Between 2 action players. King 10-3, 2 diamonds. Skydiver Scott's going to continue in flow with the pre-flop betting lead. 325. Umid. It's like he might call with the Broadway draw. 1 over card, and he does. 3 of spades on the turn. Skydiver Scott is capable of running a triple barrel bluff, but he's going to give up, it looks like. Can't see the river card. No idea what's happening. Looks like Skydiver Scott bet 700 and got it through. No idea what the river card was. Your guess is as good as mine.
Miss anything crazy?
Nope. Jacob called me a boomer commentator.
Love it. Love it.
If only you knew how young I was.
Yeah, no, this guy ain't a boomer. But the card room is booming out there. We've got every table in the house filled. We got lines out the door.
Nice.
Lists a mile long. Everybody's trying to get a piece of the action here at Texas Card House in Dallas. Just like everyone else is in the chat trying to get a piece of this stream. 1.6 thousand of you tuning in. Appreciate you guys.
I'm not sure how to say it, but Jinyan, what is color up? Sorry, my English is bad. Basically, when you exchange small chips for bigger chips.
It just gives you a little more real estate in the game. It makes it easier to handle all your chips. If you're sitting, like, imagine these guys trying to play with a bunch of green. Oh my God. Castles, man. You have to build castles with your chips. There is a player here, Tuna, who won our last big tournament, a regular on the 2-5 stream, who loves buying in with a bunch of red. And he'll buy like 2,000 in red.
That's so many chips.
It's so many chips. And I sit there and I'm like, dude, you have to rack up 4 racks of red just to go to the cage. And he's like, well, yeah, that's why I play for 2 days straight. And I only have to rack up once.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, I guess. Could also just, buy black chips, man.
Anthony T, this feels like a softball, but he says, thinking about coming out to Texas. Any suggestions on where to go?
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. Fly into DFW, rent a car, drive the 15 minutes to Harry Hines Boulevard, and get in at Texas Card House, Dallas.
And once you've done that, drive another 3 hours south, go to Austin, hit up the Texas Card House in Austin, see all the fun things that there is to do in Austin. And then you can go to Houston, play at Texas Card House. And then while you're already down there, may as well go to Rio Grande Valley and play at Texas Card House. Enjoy the beaches. There's poker to be had at every corner of Texas.
That's right. Texas poker is where it's at. The Jiggities for Skydiver Scott versus Umid's Jack 9.
Revamp scump 10, 25, 50. What's the 54? Blinds are accounted for. I mean, it's just a third blind. They just want to make the game that much bigger. And in fact, we've seen a straddle almost every single hand as well. So we are playing 10, 25, 50, 100 in this game. So
wow, running
also,
eights.
Wow, running eights.
So boat over boat here.
That's what it's looking like. That's probably the one run out that was going to get Skydiver paid. However, he's got to be a little leery of a queen here pretty often. Not deterred, though. Got calling chips in his hand, puts them in the pot, and he's going to get a 2.1K profit going his way. If you guys are going to make it out to Texas and you go down to Dallas, Lexo Poker going to be there July 8th. Be sure to get down there for the action. Give him a shout. Give him a like and a subscribe on YouTube. Lexo, a regular here in Dallas as well.
Somebody else has something. I missed the question that I wanted to answer. Oh, good question from Twitch Clips. At TCH Live, do you know the longest session someone has had at the car house without leaving?
It's not crazy. I've heard people that have stayed for 2 days straight, like 48 hours. I bet someone's beaten that.
Wild, bro.
I know. Like, how do you? I don't understand how people do that. But I'm sure someone's beaten it. But that's the longest one I've heard of in person specifically. But I'm sure someone has surpassed that, done something crazy, done like 70-hour session. My God, just like that's, just think about what you're paying in the rake or in the hourly rather.
Yeah, you better be winning.
Yeah, so you better be winning or playing big.
Oh, look at this deuce on the flop.
Oh, bottom set for Peck.
Nate's got nothing, but
got nothing though. You hate to see it. Mandatory bet here from Peck. But unfortunately, Nate's got complete and utter error. And decides to let it go.
Not going so well for Peck tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks when you both run bad and then run well and don't get paid.
Yeah, that's like the double salt in the wound.
Yeah, that is bananas tilting, admittedly. Anthony T, what's the age requirement for playing Poker TCH? 18.
PS3 shakes, 16 hours is my longest. Yeah, that's pretty long.
Rookie numbers.
Yeah.
By comparison to the TCH grinders.
Dude, unless you're just a machine, your decision making degrades so much.
Oh, every minute past like 10 hours.
And especially like if you're in a place where there's games galore like this, it just doesn't make a ton of sense unless you're just in the perfect game setup where there's some whales, you're playing great, running great, and they're just donking off to you. But otherwise, dude,
otherwise,
sleep, bro, you're gonna lose.
Exactly. Otherwise, you may as well go get some sleep and come back tomorrow. The games will always be here.
But also, spend plenty of time at Texas Card House.
Oh, geez, what a flop! Nate flopping top set. Peck with the gutter ball to the straight flush. Umid in there with raggedy do.
Nick from Ema says had a 42-hour chat session once. All right.
That does not surprise me, dude. Not even a little bit.
Stop. So this could be a big one.
Nate gonna check raise here. Check raise small. I think out of position you can go a little bigger, but obviously Peck with the straight flush draw. I don't think he can go anywhere just yet. He might still think his king is live as well, giving him 3 additional outs. However, not the case.
This could be a big one.
9.
Wow.
Fills
so drawing just
up.
to a Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts, exactly. He's got 1 out in the entire deck. Nate now with top boat. The nuts, as some people say. Excuse me, not the nuts. Pocket nines, whatever. I gotta stop doing that.
If Queen of Hearts comes, I'm jumping out the window.
Oh my God! If Queen of Hearts comes, we see another $60,000 pot. That's what we see. And Peck though just gonna fold it. Rabbit hunt one time, Amber. I just want to see it. But Peck does elect on a fold. Yeah, he loses the vast majority of his outs once that board pairs. And he still just got king high there on the end. So I don't fault the fold, even though he is drawing to the uber nuts.
$5,100 pot headed over to Nate.
Yeah, if you're calling big bets to hit one-outers, you're probably not a winning player
in the long run. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's fun for us to watch, but I wouldn't suggest it for your financial situation. So Trick Time is back at the table, ready to continue his steamroll. Umid pocket fives in the cutoff. Umid's been known to win some big pots as well. He's waiting, buying his time here.
He has won some big ones here on TCH Dallas.
Andrew Romeo, those chairs look comfy.
They're very comfy. Oh, they really are. Honestly, best chairs of any poker room, in my opinion, that I've been to, at least. Like, so I have low back problems, and the chairs here like don't even bother my back. It's one of the few places that
it's awesome.
That is the case. JD C betting here, picking up a little bit on the turn.
Double gutter here for JD now.
Double gutted.
And technically his pair outs are live.
Yep, 100%. He's got if a club peels off, he's got a relatively decent hand for bluffing. Blocking the Jack 9 straight. Blocking clubs.
2,500 here, a little over pot. And it's probably going to fold. He's just got.
Oh my God.
What do I know?
Yeah,
I don't know why I try to predict this stuff.
What do we know here? We
call.
know nothing. Jon Snow. Jack on the end actually gives JD the check mark. Clubs come in, everything's there. Probably going to go check the majority of the time. JD has way too much showdown value. However, he may not think his Jack is good after Umid calls twice, probably putting him on an ace the majority of the time. Like I said, he's got like one of the best possible bluffing hands at this point with
because he blocks clubs.
He blocks clubs until the Jack peeled off. He blocked straights. Interesting decision to check. I mean, he does have showdown value. Umid checks back with fives. JD says, "I rivered your bud." Got him.
Umid knows he made a crazy call on the turn, like crazy good call. But JD had a lot of outs to improve on the river, and he gets there.
Yeah, I'm really surprised we actually didn't see JD triple barrel there. Just because Umid's not going to show up with a hand as weak as fives that often that your Jack is ahead of. However, maybe JD knows something I don't, and he's maybe giving Umid something like, I don't know. I don't know what he's giving Umid, but
I think JD probably does know something we don't.
I'm sure he probably does.
He is an archaeologist after all.
I was about to try and make an archaeologist joke.
Haven't heard a ton from Scott Average Scott out of the ordinary. Once he starts getting a run of cards, that'll be fun. He's good for action if you get
I'm surprised we haven't seen him. Oh my God, JD, second time with aces, red aces, slice of Seattle here.
The pointy boys.
Red variety, puts in the squeeze on the button. Peck again, waking up with pocket tens. Dude, this is so bad. I'm actually really surprised we didn't see him 4-bet. He knows JD could probably be squeezing light here on the button. Flatting with tens out of position.
Nate getting a crazy price here with 8-4 suited now.
8-4 suited. Oh, man.
Let's play $100,000 pot.
Let's see it.
8-4-5.
Wow.
Oh, my bad. The board was wrong. 4-5-6. Sorry.
4,
the board
5,
initially
6.
said 8-4-5.
Umid open-ended. Nate's pair gutter ball. JD pocket aces.
Got to bet here, JD.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This flop is like terrible for aces, especially facing 3 callers. But there are a ton of draws out there you definitely don't want to give a free card to. Peck with an overpair. You might see a raise. We honestly might see a raise here, and it wouldn't.
This is like the exact same spot.
Peck yeah, pretty much. It wouldn't even be crazy for him to do it. It wouldn't even be crazy for him to raise here.
Peck
does have 2 players behind. Does elect on just a flat call. Umid obviously going nowhere. Priced in massive. And now even Nate is priced in for a gutter ball. Like he's getting like 9-1 on his money right now.
I think he knows that. Yeah.
I think he knows that. And maybe he's got 2 pair outs too. So it's like What is happening? King on the turn. Everybody hates that card except for JD.
Spades.
Spade. Oh, Umid. Umid picks up
Open-ended and nut
open-ended
spades.
and the nut spade draw. Man, what a massive hand.
Jeez.
Massive hand for not having anything at the moment.
Looks like it's going to check around back to JD. JD, I think, needs to put a bet out there again right now that.
I mean, once he gets called 3 times on the flop, there wasn't a raise, which is good. But yeah, he's got to be. This is a rough spot with aces, honestly. I mean, there's still so many draws you don't want to deny, or you want to deny equity to. But if you get check raised on this board, that sucks. That really sucks. So like if Umid, like say he puts out a bet of 3K, Umid short stack, he might just ship it. And JD has to fold his aces at that point. So he doesn't have to, but it's a gnarly call if he does. Does go for the bet of 4,500.
So. Yeah.
Peck, terrible spot.
Looks like he folded.
Oh wait, he got. Oh my! Did Peck ship it?
What
again?
No.
Oh Umid man, I would have been like, no.
You got it.
Oh man, Umid looks like he shipped it. Bricks everything. JD snap called him.
$24,000 pot.
Snap called him with the aces. Wow, what a call!
Whoa!
Seriously, what a call!
JD's up to $56,000.
Jeez, man, we're seeing some monster hands.
Golly, it's hard to even keep up with all these hands.
We can only handle so much adrenaline. Like, come on,
dude. And JD doing what JD does best, getting max value for hands without really getting out of line. He basically just had to call off for his stack, and I mean not for his stack, but just called and won a $24,000 pot. I'm not sure how much he bought in, but it had to be.
He's only bought in once. He bought in
range.
Yeah, he bought in for like 17K. Umid nowhere, goes nowhere, reloads insta, puts a stack of hundies right there on the table. The Benjis coming out. Umid now waking up 2 queens, raised it up to 300.
This is why you rebuy.
This is why you rebuy it. We've seen that like exemplified the entire night. It's like, this is why you rebuy. You can't go anywhere just yet.
Which is such a degen way of thinking.
Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, I got to get max value.
Right? Yeah, and I could have a good hand next hand. You know, I could have wow, what another terrible flop for an overpair. I mean, tons of draws available. Opponent shouldn't have 7-4 very often. An even worse turn card. Pete with just king high, though. Umid going to put out a bet. Take it down.
So a little consolation for Umid when losing that big one to JD. JD looking to be in high spirits. He's basically just had big pairs all night.
Pretty much. That's really all he's had. No kidding. I want to see JD and Trick get involved in another big hand. Excuse me.
I mean, that could be $140,000 pot.
Yeah, that'd be absolutely bonkers. I'm calling for it to happen right now. I want to see JD get stacks one time.
One time.
Sorry, JD. Trick. Oh, I seriously thought those were frisbees. I was like, my God, he made it like 2,300, but no.
Umid loosening things up a bit. Queen 9 off.
Yep, flat call.
Position. And no one else has anything.
Three-way flop here.
King deuce deuce. Nothing for anybody.
Nothing at all. Trick time. Actually surprised we didn't see a bet there. Very surprised. Ace high, the best hand a lot of time. Needs protection though. Well, if you didn't think he had the best hand on the flop, he definitely thinks he's got it now. At the very worst, he's chopping. Maybe check call in this spot.
Stan, man, is the Tuesday live games open to the public? Yep, they absolutely are. You just got to email Dallas@TexasCardHouse.com.
Checks all the way around. Trick time still running good. He says, I got an ace, boys.
Ship the cheddar cheese, $800.
Ship it over. Have we the only pot we've seen Trick lose was the one versus JD.
At the very beginning.
At the very beginning. And since then he has won like 50 grand.
Jeez. That's got to be a really good feeling. Although it's interesting, even when you're winning that much, you feel less about that than it does when you're losing that much. Like if you're losing 50K in this game, it really sucks. If you're winning 50K, it feels good, but not compared to losing in the opposite direction.
Yeah, no, that feels so much worse than it does winning 50K. It feels better.
As if I've ever been in a context where I'm winning close to $50,000. Peck, pocket queens on the button.
Oh, hopefully
the
he
ladies,
can get some back. The ladies.
300. He's had a lot of pocket pairs. He's been a lot of second place spots. He needs to be in first place this time.
Yeah, Skydiver Pocket 8's coming along.
This is the guy that could get him even.
It is. It certainly is.
Even-ish. Close to it at least.
There we go. Not the greatest flop for pocket queens, but Skydiver's only got 8s. He's only got 1 out left in the entire deck. No help on the turn. I like Peck's decision to check back.
Now he can bet and get paid by a 10, but he's just going to check again.
Yep, checks again, and maybe this will induce Skydiver to bet it out. Probably not. He's got too much showdown value. Peck gotta think his queens are good by now, especially after all the draws. Brick. You got 2 pair, ace kicker. Go for a little bit. Skydiver Scott has the same snap call. Gets probably what is the max from pocket 8s in my mind. So well played by Peck. Played a little bit of pot control and got paid on the in there for the max.
Yeah, we'll play it again. I mean, it's a super small pot in relation to the game, but I appreciate anytime a player gets the max for a situation where he probably shouldn't get anything. And it's always a good learning experience to see these guys how they extract the max in situations that seem to be trivial.
Eric Nuremberg, when you think you play a big game and then you watch this one, yeah, bud, biggest game on the internet.
Like you'd like to think that you're the type of guy that could be cool at any stake. Like it's all poker, it's all chips and cards.
Oh my god! Yeah,
but this would go straight to your head, bro.
I'd be sweating so hard at this game. My senses would be on the highest of alert. And I don't care how rolled you are. I don't care how much money you have. At some level, the money always matters, especially in a game like this. Yeah. Like nobody's happy they lost 30 grand. Like that just doesn't happen. I don't care how much money you have.
Sit there and think about it too much. It's gonna. I just lost a 2009 Tahoe.
Wow. King Jack flops it. Straight flops Tahoe. It.
Wow. Broadway.
Flopping Broadway. Unfortunately, nobody's got much of anything. But Zane's decision to bet here, and I like the bigger bet too. It's don't want to deny equity to spade draws, but you can target so much on this board. So I do like the bigger bet there. I think that was
Zane's
good.
Had a lot of big hands.
Certainly has. He's had like 3 straights, I think.
He doesn't have the image that seems to be getting out of line, so it makes sense that he's not going to get looked up light.
Yeah, he's not going to get too much action.
Yeah, I mean, the game seems, somebody said everybody's a calling station. It does seem like the game has shifted a bit. I mean, there is a lot of calling in spots where there used to be maybe more raising from maybe in like the 2010s, I think, where it's more correct to call in certain spots where we didn't know. Back when Super System came out, he basically said, just raise all the time. Here we go.
Did we see Peck just flat call with aces?
I think so.
No, this is how aces get cracked.
Yikes. One time, though, for Peck.
I'm very surprised.
I'm ready for Peck for this one.
I am too. He needs a win.
3-5-3. It looks like open-ended for Nate.
Nate is open-ended. Zane with an overpair. Everyone else are drawing to dreams. And Nate is open-ended. This is going to be a 3-way battle here. I don't think Nate's going to fold. Zane's probably going to lead. Peck could go between a flat call or a raise. He slow played his aces pre, so no one's going to – I mean, Zane probably going to play him off the majority of the time.
Yeah.
And Nate being open-ended, you have a ton of equity on this board. You can probably see one more turn card, even facing a 3-bet, because you're drawing to a relatively nutted hand. The only thing that's raising on this board is a hand just like your own, or a 3.
Just calls.
Or even maybe just a 5.
If an
He
ace
does
comes, that would be
call.
super dirty for
Oh,
Nate.
it'd be the dirtiest thing ever.
Although, are there
Seriously.
any aces left?
Possible.
6. Wow, straight here for Nate.
Just gets there. Peck gets owned again.
Dude, this is tough.
With
And
the
Nate's
4
got
deuce.
28,000 behind.
Yeah, Peck's gonna lose a lot more money in this hand. This is
Oh,
bad.
no.
This is gonna be a monster pot. And Nate actually donks here.
Interesting.
Donk lead into 2 players. I think you can. Wow. And Zane, honestly, let's be real. That is a massive fold. I love it.
Jeez.
I love it.
Just having 2 calls behind, and then Nate just immediately donks on the 6th turn.
Yeah, I think Nate cost himself some money there. But he does get the check mark on the end. Peck still got aces. So unfortunately, this is probably the one pair he's not gonna be able to let go. Well, maybe. I mean, if you're putting your opponent on a 3, like what else donks here? Like he's either got a 3 or he's got, maybe he turned a boat with 6s, or
yeah, I don't know,
or something like that. I don't know. It's pretty hard to know. But Nate does go for a gigantic bet and a snap call. Oh, I thought he was about to snap call it, and he does basically snap call. And Nate gonna show the 4 deuce, and Peck just continuing to run bad in this session, getting distrominated with the pocket aces.
$16,000 pot headed over to Nate. He needed that one. Peck did not need that to happen to him, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately though, he let Nate in. He gave him the odds he needed to see a flop.
Francis Morgan said, moral of the story, raise your aces, boys and girls.
Raise your aces, boys and girls. I was really surprised to see Peck do that. I've never seen him slow play pocket aces like that.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he just really wanted to get some value for him. But whenever you let 4 players into the pot, your aces against any 2 cards, against any one opponent, your aces have like an 81% chance to win. But against 4 other opponents, you drop to like below 50. So versus all of those ranges, like your equity diminishes so much whenever you let multiple people into the pot with big pairs. It's kind of like whenever, like, bomb pots are a big thing here at TCH, and one of the worst hands you can get in a bomb pot is pocket kings or pocket aces, because you're seeing the flop 9 ways. So like, there's no way your hand's gonna hold up unless you flop a set. So it's that's rough. That's why you don't slow play in that spot. There are times to slow play. I don't think that was one of them. Umid flopping the best hand here. Second pair, backdoor hearts. Pete Snow, though, not going anywhere. He got a gutter ball, 2 overs, backdoor hearts. Cards are very, very live. Betting range here.
600 Umid's going to call. Heads up, 2,500 in the pot to the turn, 8 on the turn. So Umid here, 2 pair, 9s and 8s.
Wow. I mean, Pete might just check this one back. Yeah, I think I like the check back. It's really good.
Deuce on the river, complete blank. Umid here has got the best of it. It looks like he's going to lead.
Yeah, nothing to get paid by, though, for Mr. Pete. Might do a little Hollywooding here, but nothing to do about that in that hand.
My dad is literally in the chat. He says, hey, don't diss boomers. Smiley face.
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
What's up, Dean? Glad you could tune in. We had Nick dealing here last week, and his mom was in the chat, so that was was pretty cool.
Took me a long time, but I finally got my parents to get into poker because their son started commentating, so they couldn't avoid it.
Yeah. So they couldn't avoid it. Got it.
Nick from Medina, are you Ben's brother? It's my dad.
This is his dad, his padre.
My son's namesake, Davis Dean. Umid here, pocket 6s in the small blind. Nate, a real hand as well. Ace-7 suited in the second blind.
Yeah, let me try that again. Perfectly reasonable calls there in the blinds. And we're going
Dad
three
chatting and dad
ways.
talking.
Yeah, I liked that. Yeah. We're going three ways to the flop here. Dry as the Sahara Desert. Umaid with the best hand, but everybody has like so many live outs. The equity is actually running really thin, equal to almost dead equal to each other. But Umaid still mains a slight lead. Zane gonna bet it out. And all three players going to the turn. 8. Zane spikes 1. Spikes top 2 pair. Probably going to check all the way around. Zane now has showdown value. No reason to bet and get raised and have to fold. Deuce in the end. Actually gives Nate the backdoor flush. Man,
Wow.
he got stacked earlier, but he's getting it back now, man.
It's got almost 40,000. Zane might be able to call one here, 8s and queens.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a crazy call.
For 1,500 though, it's kind of expensive.
Yeah, a little bit. And you do have a 9.
Calls.
Umid basically snap calls.
He says,
and he still shows the 6s. I love it. I love it. Still showing them.
Nate making it happen. He's over 40,000 now. 42,000 maybe. So I wonder if he's close to even now.
Oh no. He's he bought in he got stacked for like 20 grand. He rebought
for 30.
For 30. So
he's
getting there. He's climbing back.
Skydiver Scott in the hijack looking like he's considering something with the 4-5. 250 standard raise for this game. Trick time, row, ace king.
Ace king, big slick.
900. Umid is going to flat, queen 10 off. And Nate is going to come along for 10-7 suited. What's happening? So now it's definitely going to price Skydiver Scott in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even with the 5-4 offsuit, it's like, how can you fold when you're getting, $1 million to 1? And so does elect on a call. And Skydiver's not one to be shy either. I think he's no. Tricks in the cutoff. Flops a gutter for the 5-4.
As well as for the queen 10.
As well as for the 10-7. Wow, a 9 ball would be outrageous. No help.
Deuce.
Complete brick. Deuce on the turn.
So Nate actually has the best of it with a pair of 7s. A 9
this is,
would be...
I think this is going to be a case of you bet you win, but nobody's electing to do that. 5 on the end. Skydiver's got a pair. And Nate says, all right, guys. We can't let this check all the way around again. I like the decision to bet here. Once it checks through twice, like your 7's probably the best hand a lot of the time. And it needs a little bit of protection. Like say, like you might get an 8 to fold. You might get a 5 or you might get an 8 to fold if you lead out here. Nate, given the action thus far, is the most likely to have a jack because he's going to be checking it out of position, deferring to the pre-flop raisers the majority of the time. So I like his decision to bet there. That was a good bet.
Nice bet by Nate. He's got game, He's not just a Bitcoin Bubba. He's into the 2-card game as well. I'm not trying to play this dude by any means. He's got deep pockets and he's got skills to boot. We're playing 10, 25, 50, 100. It's Tuesday night, TCH Live. Some people's favorite night of the week. It's definitely our favorite night of the poker week.
I know it's mine.
We're at least on my screen, we're 3 away from 500 likes. We've got 1,674 people watching. It's a party in here, people. Thanks for sticking with us. It's 8:40. We've got an hour and 20 minutes left in this Tuesday night stream. And we're excited that you have stuck with us for this just out of this world poker action. Skydiver Scott
Oh,
his own
man.
royal flush draw. King 10 suited versus Umid with the pointy boys for himself.
Black aces this time. The Beatles, Blackbirds. Going to raise it up very standardly. 1K here in position. Haven't seen Umid put in a raise. Yeah, I don't think we've seen him put in 1-3-bet tonight. So Scott Ever may actually let this one go. He's out of position, but he does have a royal flush draw. Actually, he does not. Umid has the ace of spades here, but he does elect to call going heads up.
3, 4, 8.
That flop
Rainbow.
saved him some money for sure. Umid with this is not the worst spot to slow play. Your opponent's not going to this board is like super unconnected for the most part. There's only straight draws available. You may as well like check back sometimes to give your opponents opportunity to catch up. There's not a lot of 2 pairs available either. Not at least any that's going to call a 3-bet the majority of the time. So wouldn't be crazy to see a check back there, but going for value is also just fine as well.
Well over 200,000 on this table now. I mean, Trick Time's got 90. JD's got 56. Nate's got 40 something right there. It's like 180 between the 3 of them. Let's play a big one for our own personal enjoyment for free, a big one. Live on YouTube. Did Leo get up? Somebody said Leo got up. Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, it looked like Leo went ahead and racked up and dipped out of there. Unfortunately, no redemption for him after making that 3K bluff raise, but
oh yeah.
But other than that, I thought he played fairly solid.
Same hand versus same hand. Peck was suited.
Got that extra 4%.
3-betted here. He knows exactly where he's at for 1,200, and Nate just gets out of the way.
Got to claw it back. Got to claw it back a chip at a time.
John Ryan short stacking, not adding back on. He's got 4K behind. Trying to make something happen from behind. And it's going to be on Trick Time. Be very interested to know what he's saying. Because whatever he's saying, it's working. Tonight at least. 91,000 US dollars behind. 3-5 suited. The steel wheel draw. 250.
Yeah, we've Trick's kind of been sitting under the crocodile, sitting under the water, waiting for the past couple of hands.
John Ryan here.
John Ryan, we haven't heard much from him at all tonight. I actually almost forgot he was at the table. And now Pete getting an absolutely massive price to call pocket sixes and set mine.
There's no way Scott actually folded ace jack there for 200 more.
Yeah, it would have flopped the best hand by a mile too.
Ace king 3, second pair for John Ryan. He's got the majority of it.
And John Ryan going to make the correct call here with the king. Can't fold just yet. 9 on the turn. Doesn't change much.
Given how this night's going for Trick Time, I'm willing to bet it comes 5
Wow.
here on the river.
Wow, you were literally about to say, what were you in your mouth? What were you about to say?
I was saying.
And Trick, massive
Huge
overbet.
bet, 4,000.
Love it. I love this bet. I like it so much because John Ryan, it's like it looks so bluffy. Like you can get paid off by so much here, and John Ryan's gonna oblige.
Oh, he bet 6,
he puts them all in. I didn't even see the John Ryan was short stacked. But yeah, like it's not even crazy for John Ryan to call here. Like Trick Time. I mean, I guess given that John Ryan is short stacked, oh wow, he does call, pays him off. Trick Time, river 2 pair.
Oh,
jeez, man, how good do you run? How good can you run in this game, Trick?
$9,300 pot there. It looks like maybe.
Yeah, he's up like 60K right now. 60 G's. That's more money than most people have ever had at one time.
Yeah. Wow. Nice hand to Trick Time there. The rich get richer.
They certainly do. Man, what a dirty river.
Wow.
That was a That was a very dirty hand.
That was partly my fault. I was
Yeah, you
basically
asked for it. How could you?
literally
How
speaking that
dare
into
you?
existence. It's weird those nights when you're playing where it almost feels like you can expect when you're running so good that you like expect the 2-outers to come and you hit it. That weird flow state that is
Yeah, no,
not
I mean
accurate.
that's a
but
real thing though, is like sometimes you just feel it. I know there have definitely been times where I just feel it. Like I just like I'm gonna see a queen on the turn. Boom. There it is.
yeah,
You can't explain it. There's you shouldn't justify it because it isn't justifiable, but it's real. It's a real phenomenon. Sometimes you just know you're gonna smash it. And Zane actually elects to fold the 5-4 suited. I'm kind of surprised by that one. Very, very callable hand. JD's in the hijack. So his, 5-4 suited's got enough equity, I think, to make the call. But Umid says 10-3 offsuit's got enough equity to make the call, even out of position. And wow,
set.
JD, my man, just flopping middle set. Not going to get paid here, but continues to run outstanding. Like, this is the ideal spot. You flop middle set with a king on the board. And Umid says, why not? Let's go 500. Wow, backdoor clubs, dirty outs here for Umid.
He's going to run a bluff here, Umid.
And he is going to run a bluff. He knows that this card is better for his calling range on the flop more often than it is JD.
It's just too obvious, though. Like, if you turn a flush there, if you donk here, it's just, it's like so obvious that it's unbelievable. Like, I hit my flush, I'm just going to bet it.
I mean, if you balance it well, honestly, it's a great play. Right. 7 on the end. Ooh. Now giving Umid the 3-high flush. JD with the 6-high flush.
If JD's able to, or if Umid's able to, oh, he checked. My bad.
Wow. And check looks like I have a 6. Got there. Got him. JD running pure. My guy just running so pure.
Might be over 60,000 now. No, close. 50.
He's close. He's not quite there.
Man, if he and Trick Time get in a big one together, that would make my night. We must not have a list for the game. I mean, this game is huge, so it takes a certain type of background to be able to play this game.
Exactly.
We're still 7-handed, it looks like.
Yeah, say 7-handed still ain't bad. I mean, it's not the full 10 ring, but
all these guys would probably prefer to play 6-max poker anyway.
No, 100%. No, a lot of these guys really prefer it. 8 max is what most of these guys prefer to play, which I can empathize with that. 10 gets a little crazy, but that's what we like to see on the stream. You know what I also like to see on the stream? 1.7 thousand of you tuning in.
Yes.
On a Tuesday night. What I don't like to see on the stream, though, is only 540 likes. I know the goal was 500, but there's too many of you in here now. We got to make it more. I want to go 800 by the end of the night. I know that's possible. I know it's easy for 1.7 thousand of you. I know we can do it. Smash that like button if you guys haven't already.
What's our record all time for Dallas?
Over it had to have been last week whenever we had the vloggers extraordinaire on here.
Yeah.
I'd have to check. Fun. I don't know for sure. Skydiver got the best hand on the end, the check mark with a 10. Elects to bet it out. Nice and small. Trick going to pay him off with a 3. Says, I just want to see your cards, bub. Yep. And lets it go. Yeah, too small of a pot. I really don't fault a call with a 3 there. Sometimes that is worth seeing your opponent's cards, especially when you're up 70 grand. So
right,
that $200 is pennies to you by comparison.
We're still 8-handed. There's plenty of play still left at this table.
What in the Trick time is going on? It is Trick's time right now. It is his game at the moment, sitting with 95 Gs in front of him. A 3-way flop here. Bunch of raggedy rags. Very dirty hands. Umid flopping the best of it, though. Middle pair. Very dry board texture. Checks all the way around. 9 on the turn, giving Nate the check for now. Once again, checks through in a 6, giving Peck the runner straight. And Umid betting out his 10, trying to squeak some value from a 5 or a rivered 6. And Nate calls with the 9, and Peck going to get max here for runner straight. Raise it up to 1,000, everybody. Not going to get too much more love, I don't think, but you love to see that. Matty J88, tricks is not for kids. Not in this game. That's for sure. We have President Joe Biden in the chat. Thank you for tuning in, sir. I love that. Nick Gwynn, who did Trick and JD get? I was studying. Let's see. Trick got Peck. Trick got Nate. JD got Trick early on, and JD also got Peck, I think. Peck's just been running bad this game, but they are both up heaps. Trick time, 3-betting, ace 10 offsuit in the small blind, perfect 3-bet bluff hand or reasonable 3-bet bluff hand. JD just wakes up with an absolute monster, though. Going to put in the cold 4-bet from the straddle. I love it. Pricing out Skydiver Scott, trying to take this heads up in position versus trick time. And Skydiver going to let suited gapper go. JD just going to take it down, getting just the perfect read on the situation, denying all that equity. Skydiver, very playable hand in the cutoff. Suited king. Opens it up. Trick time. 3-betting on the button. 9-8 suited in position. I like it. Doing this for what's called board coverage. Got to mix in some suited connectors into your 3-bet range, especially if you're trying to play it heads up, price out the blinds from getting in there. Even though 9-8 suited is a hand that can hold up multi-way a lot of the time. Sometimes you get folds and sometimes you smash top pair and you can get more money in the pot when you have a strong hand that you're not likely to have on this board. This board doesn't normally connect with a linear 3-betting range, so maybe Skydiver might look him up light occasionally, but it's going to get it done there with a C-bet on the flop from Trick. Nick, yeah, the biggest, the Peck's not running great. He's down heaps tonight, unfortunately. Very solid player, but sometimes the cards just don't go your way. Texas Bill St. Pete been kind of card dead. Yeah, he has a little bit. As we say it, he wakes up with a hand here in the +1 ace 10 suited. Very natural open.
He's still got 20K behind.
Oh my God, you came back. You scared me. I forgot. You didn't, we're doing this over Zoom, so I don't get the usual warning that you walk through the door, but suddenly you're just there, man. Scared the life out of me. Let's see. St. Pete, very dry board texture for the most part.
Peck top pair, pretty good kicker.
Decent kicker. You don't hate it. Oh, man. Umid now open-ended on the turn. Peck got to start pumping up this pot. Now needs a little bit of defense here as well. Peck throws out a $600 bet. Fold around to Umid, who is going nowhere. Nate just queen high, gets well out of the way. Heads up to the river queen. I don't think either player really likes that card especially much. Shouldn't change much, though, so Peck may elect to go for a little bit more thin value here. Maybe trying to target something like a 5. And I do like the decision to bet.
Looks like a call from Umid. And Peck is going to take down a $3,200 pot.
Gotta chip it back up somehow. And that's the way to do it, taking down the small ones.
Unfortunately, Umid has had a rough go of it and is maybe calling lighter in spots than he usually would call.
I don't know. He likes to call down lights. He's hard to bluff for that exact reason.
For sure. I mean, sometimes stickiness does work out, and other times it can really bleed you
lose your
off.
money. Yeah, that's for sure.
We've been playing 5,100 for the majority of the night, dude. This game.
I don't think there's been a hand that we haven't. I think they're doing a mandatory straddle.
That's a huge game.
It's a massive game. It gets bigger every week. The straddles just stay on. In trick time, still running stupid, waking up, queen jack suited, Umid going nowhere, dominated queen. Nate coming along, defending his button, maybe a little light, but sometimes you got to defend your button light. At least he thinks so anyway. Pete coming in the straddle, 8-5. Gapper here.
Four-handed, queen 10-6.
Let's
trick
see.
Time with the best of it. Top pair, jack kicker.
It over
Umid
though.
jams.
Umid ships it in. Maybe that's what he was trying to induce.
Free money
checking
for
it over.
trick time.
And Nate's
thinking, is Umid just jamming with two overs here?
Right. Yeah. It's like Nate might, it wouldn't be crazy to find a call here. Sometimes maybe if there weren't two other people in the pot. And trick time snaps it effectively. 5 on the turn. Drawing to exactly a 4 for Umid. No help. And trick time going to take down another one. Running good still, my guy.
A $5,000 profit there, just like that for trick time. And trick time, this is the pace of a man that can potentially win all the chips on the table. I know that's like a very long shot.
Seriously,
but there are those nights where one guy can really run so good that he just wins every chip on the table.
He's got the entire table covered. He has almost more chips in his stack than the entire rest of the table has total.
Right.
So it's literally possible that he could stack the entire table. It would be
I don't know if these guys are rolled to be able to match the stack up to his.
Oh no,
right?
No.
Like 100,000.
They would have already done it.
Yeah,
they would have already done it by now. If we had Steven here, I think he might put 100 G's on the table.
Right.
He's very capable, just like JD is very capable of raising pocket fives on the button. Okay, I was like, no way, St. Pete folded that hand. There's absolutely no way. Basically, a nutted hand. 3 bets it. A little bit small being out of position, but I think he wants to keep JD in relatively wide with his range. However, he is out of position, so maybe there's a little more argument for making it bigger, something like 1,200. I think would be a little more standard, but it's fine either way. And JD's going to come along, trying to set mine in position with the pocket fives.
Nice hand, ace queen suited. Nice flop, 8-3-6, 2 clubs.
2 clubs, and actually not the worst flop for pocket fives. Pete's not going to have much of this board ever. Very safe flop for pocket fives, and it's got backdoor equity, but Pete elects to continue here with the clubs. JD with some straight equity, but some of his outs are very dirty.
So Pete's no betting 1,500. JD not
makes the correct call. Oh, just gets there. Comes right on in.
So do you check here if you're Saint? Yep.
Yeah, I actually really like to check here. Give your opponent a little bit of rope. You have the nuts. This board's going to hit his range really, really often.
Checks through on the river. Queen of hearts.
Queen on the end. Complete brick. Actually, kind of you would love to see something like the deuce of diamonds to get paid on But that queen is so much better for your range, where it's like even if JD didn't think he had anything on the flop, St. Pete probably going to connect with that queen pretty often. And it looks like he's going to go for a big boy bet. Oh, a massive bet. Slight over bet, it looks like. Yep, 5,500. And JD snap folds. Unfortunately, no more value to be had there, but I like the heart. I like the decision to overbet the pot on the river. I think that's great once you have slow played the nuts.
Feels good to hit the nuts every once in a while. Just turning it right there and fading the redraws. Ace Queen of Clubs, pretty hand, especially against a guy that's got so much money. JD, 56-ish thousand behind. Hand 78. It's 9 p.m. We've got an hour left in our Tuesday night 5100 stream. Let's just call it what it is. Zane,
Yeah,
7-5 suited on the button to 300.
And Trick Time and Straddle actually folds.
He just wanted to give somebody else a shot.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, I mean, I like the
$101,000.
$101,000. Very rare that we've had $100,000 in anyone's stack on this table, and Trick has done it for us tonight. But yeah, I like the discipline there. I mean, King 6, it's not the craziest hand to call with out of the blinds, and especially when you're running as good as Trick is and is up as much money as he is. It's like you get so tempted to just see as many flops as possible because you're like, how could I lose? I'm running so good.
Right.
But does elect to let it go, which is just fine. JD opened up King Queen offsuit.
Trick time 5-6 suited is good enough for a call. Nate with the 8-7 off is also in there. 1100.
I'm surprised we didn't see Trick 3-bet this if he was going to play from the blinds, but I mean, I take that back. He's not in the worst blind. I think he's fine. And JD still running just insane. Gutter ball to the nuts. Excuse me.
Top pair as well.
Not the nuts, but
for a pretty good straights.
Yeah, good straights. Now it would be the nuts. JD with the check mark. Nate got in there with
a 10 would be brutal.
A 10 would be brutal. No 10 though. 2 pair. Ace kicker for JD. 8 high for Mr. Nate. The only way JD's going to get value is if Nate elects to run a bluff, which he does. Look at that. Very value heavy sizing. Look like 1,500 there.
This is going to be the easiest call for JD.
Yeah, because I mean, like
Nate has all the jacks.
He has a lot of jacks here, and that's exactly what he's trying to say that he's got. JD really got to. I mean, it's a relatively small pot, so maybe we see a call here from JD. Really thinking about it, like how many jacks does he have here? Not unreasonable. Honestly, you could have a lot of jacks here. He could have a lot of Jack X suited when he calls from the blind. Wow, JD's gonna JD, man, just
nice call, dude.
Just a monster player. I don't understand. He just doesn't lose,
dude. That's not an easy call, bro.
No, it really isn't.
Specific board.
It's like your opponent's not gonna have an ace that often, but like you're really scared of the jack in that. Yeah, he could. After it checks to him, Nate could have been just had called with some straight outs. Defers over to JD, the aggressor on the flop. And then tries to go for value on the river.
Not good for the game.
JD's awesome. I'm sure JD thinks he's good for the game. Wow. I'm sure JD loves being in this game. JD trying to figure out how many ounces of mask fibers he's inhaling per hour. That's funny.
Peck trying to make something happen. Ace-7 suited. He's got 22 grand behind, like not out of the game by any means.
Chips on the table.
And
chip
as
in
we've
a chair.
seen with like Umid in past streams, the last 5 minutes could be the most profitable for you.
Yep, real or dig you out of a deep hole.
That's right.
Top. Oh my God, JD, dude. Like I don't understand.
Top pair, okay. Kicker, Peck, nothing but ace high. Nate with an inside straight draw, backdoor clubs. 3-handed checks around. 4 on the turn.
About as bricky as it gets.
Really good card for JD.
Yeah.
Other than having a 4.
I like his decision to check here. You have so much showdown value. Your kicker's not amazing. You lose to a lot of tens that would reasonably call, and it also gives your opponent the opportunity to run a bluff. I think it plays best as a check call, especially given that that turn was so bricky. No reason for JD to do anything else, I don't think. Could have been a case for, say, there was a bet on the flop, raising it on the flop because it's the hand needs a lot of protection. Kicker's not great. You find out where you're at real fast. It's a good hand to balance with, but maybe not on this flop exactly. Queen on the river. JD with the check mark. Peck may elect to represent this card. The queen on the ends. He's only got
JD's
ace high.
Sticky. He's gonna have to make it expensive.
He's gonna. If he wants to get it through, would have to put like a $2,000 bet out there.
JD has not shown himself to fold very often on rivers, or he's got even a small piece of it.
Yeah, he goes small here.
Yikes.
JD has effectively slow played his 10. Oh my God, JD, dude. What just like making every right play. You gotta love it. What a monster.
Wow. Yeah.
Tadpole says JD solid, Trick solid. Yeah, see, like Trick, like as crazy as Trick plays, like the dude is a solid player. Like you can't argue against that by any means. He's really, really good. He just plays a lot of hands.
Yeah, especially now they're 6-handed or 7-handed. They can open it up even more.
Yeah, absolutely. Given that they're short-handed, the ranges are going to be wider more often. You don't necessarily change your range from each position, but now the quote unquote under the gun position is not. You should not consider it under the gun. You should consider it hijack, as it is still listed on our graphics here, and you should still play the same effective range that you normally would in a 9-handed game. That's the reason why people say you just get to see more flops. You play more hands, and you can 3-bet lighter. JD 3-betting an opening here from Skydiver on the button. King Queen offsuits. I don't think Skydiver's going anywhere.
Absolutely not. These are his favorite type of hands, or he likes a lot of hands actually, but this hand specifically, I think everyone likes. Ace-5 suited, 2 diamonds here, so he flops the nut flush draw. JD top pair, really good kicker. This could be a big one if things.
This could be a big one.
Becomes king of diamonds on the turn. It's just all going in there.
Yeah, Skydiver is relatively short stacked. I mean, yeah, it'd be close. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out.
So he's going to continue betting 700 from JD. Skydiver Scott. Almost a coin flip. He's got an over in the nut flush draw.
Yep, pretty much. And he spikes it.
Spikes the nut diamonds.
Binks it.
Well, he spikes the ace high flush.
Just the
redraw to the straight flush.
I mean, yeah.
Because he has the nut flush because he's got the 5 of diamonds.
Yep. With the redraw to the uber nuts.
That's right. So checks over to Skydiver Scott, who wants to bet it. He does bet it. Looks like 1,600. JD questioning. Does Skydiver Scott really have this many diamonds?
I mean, yeah, it being the 7 of diamonds too is not exactly the greatest card. Skydiver could have a lot of 6-5 that would definitely see a turn here. I don't think JD can fold just yet, and I think he agrees. However, facing a lot of, especially that card is terrible. Wow, that unfortunately is an utter action killer for Mr. Skydiver. If he didn't have a flush on the turn, he probably has one now, especially given that JD
$300.
Yeah,
that's about all he can get paid here
for real. And even then, I don't think JD's gonna. He may pay him off as like a laugh, but he wouldn't be paying him off like, yeah. But Skydiver,
10,000. Okay, 3,500 maybe. That's not getting paid.
I like that Skydiver still went for a very value bet here. JD can still wake up with some diamonds. He could have the queen of diamonds in his hand. That's going to pay you 100% of the time. So could have king queen with the king of diamonds. Yeah, a lot of targets there. A lot of hands can pay off.
Cool $100,000 for our friend Trick Fillet.
Trick fillet.
10, 25, 50, 100. He's run it up to about 100,000. And it looks like this is, what did he get? Did he get food? That's going to make me hungry if he starts eating.
Oh, I'm starving. I was in the middle of making dinner, and then I realized what time it was, and I didn't get to finish making dinner. So
just sit down with a gallon of sweet tea. Is that what that was?
maybe
soup.
Oh, here we go. Pete Snow waking up.
Perfect time to sit back down.
Perfect. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Trick pocket threes on the button. I don't think can go anywhere just yet. Perfectly fine to call in position. And Peck makes a pretty natural call on the blind with a suited gapper here. I think that's fine. Ooh, wow. What a flop. What a flop.
Peck, is this his chance versus St. Pete Snow?
Chance. Wow, checks through. What a good check by St. Pete Snow. Honestly, that is a phenomenal check. This board destroys your opponent's ranges, as we're seeing happen in real time with Peck flopping 2-pair. And if you get check raised, you have to fold, and you can just get bluffed off your hand 100% of the time. Peck going to lead out here, and what an easy fold for St. Pete Snow. Wow. And
didn't even think about it.
Did not even think about it. What a fold. That really, I mean, the ace on the turn probably helped his decision be a little bit easier, but still, like, didn't even think. Snap, folded. You love to see good disciplined poker.
Absolutely. Sucks though. Pocket kings and just worst card in the deck for you on the turn, but best card because it saved you. A lot of cheddar cheese versus Peck, who's trying to get something going.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, like, Peck has actually had some hands tonight, but he's just like not getting value from them.
Right.
On top of getting stacked earlier, so it's like just the worst kind of run bad scenario, really. Some middling hands, seeing a flop here. Middle pair for Nate's and
flush draw for St. Pete.
Queen high flush draw for Mr. St. Pete. Neither player going anywhere, I don't think. Oh, and St. Pete actually likes to raise, and Nate, without skipping a beat, makes the flat call. 4 doesn't change anything. Yeah, the main thing, when your opponent raises on this board, weights it very heavily towards draws. Aces aren't going to raise too often. He could have ace jack, but you block ace jack, and that's pretty unlikely. So I wouldn't. I don't think it'd be crazy for Nate to call again here. Honestly, your kicker kind of sucks, but your opponent shouldn't have a jack, so it shouldn't really be that relevant.
And he thinks,
oh wow, and he gets 2-pair
rewarded
on the river, and Pete
continues to bet
right into him, man.
3,000, sizable bet.
G's. Nate says, "Did I river 2-pair? I did river 2-pair. I'm gonna flat call you up." And I also really like the decision to flat call. Some people might get suckered into raising there, but the only thing that's gonna call you on that kind of board texture is something like ace jack, like a better 2-pair that already dominates you. So I like his decision to just flat call.
Nice.
There are definitely times to raise for thin value with a river 2-pair, but that wasn't one of them.
$10,000 pot over to Nate. Jeez. Yeah, it's interesting watching players play at this level, because I guess in your mind as low stakes players, you just assume they're playing these like elite tight ranges or whatever, but you actually see them playing a lot of loosey-goosey hands here and there. Maybe because the money means less to certain people, but
maybe. Yeah, some of these guys are, even though it's hard to relate, like they're just playing for fun, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But some of them really are. It's like they're just looking to gamble it up a little bit. Yeah, it still sucks when you lose 30 grand a night, but like it's not gonna kill them. The money obviously still matters a little bit, and they're still fighting for the chips in the middle. But
right,
it's not. Sometimes it is just fun for these guys.
JD ace-10 suited. Almost has 60,000 himself. This man is no stranger to large stacks. St. Pete Snow, same hand, ace-10 of hearts, and Scott Scott got him crushed here, ace-jack suited. 3-5-5, 2 clubs. JD flopping huge here. 2
Gigantic.
overs and the nut clubs.
Yep.
St. Pete has backdoor nut hearts.
Snap folds it, which I like. Can't chase runner. And JD going to just take that one down with a little bit of aggression on the flop. We love to see it, getting the better hand to fold, even though he had a boatload of equity. And actually, he had the lion's share of the equity there. But Jack was live. Ace was live for Ace Jack. So
Anthony T, just booked my flight to Austin. Going to be playing out there this weekend. Hope to play 5-10. Hey, you should drive up to Dallas if you want to get in on 5-10.
absolutely. The 5-10 here is insane, my guy. Come on in. Come on out.
Pretty easy drive from Austin to Dallas, but also check out TCH Austin as well. I don't know if they run 5-10 regularly, but
it's usually the game. It's usually the game for the stream. I don't know if it runs regularly during the week, but
for Monday nights at least.
Yeah,
they play the 5-10. But also the 2-5 matches stack there plays pretty huge, so you'd be fine.
Yeah, no, it's plays gigantic.
Huge flop here.
Top pair
inside ball. Straight jaw. Trick time with gutter ball, backdoor clubs, and Nate with his own gutter ball, bottom pair. 7 does nothing for anyone.
Mike B says, when are the My Guy shirts coming? Good question, actually. I don't know where mine's at yet. It should be in the mail.
It'd be very niche.
I want
niche
that
merch.
Shirt so bad. Hey, why not, my guy?
I'd wear it, my guy.
I love it. What was the other arm supposed to be? Like range advantage or something like that?
What was the other one they said?
Yeah, it was something like but they have a range advantage. Yeah, I don't remember, but something like that. Francis Morgan says, this dealer knew she was going to be on the stream. Look at those nails. Amber rocks the nails all day, every day. She's also got some very colorful hair as well.
Very good dealer.
Yep, very solid.
There's only a few that do the stream, and I think it's for good reason because these dealers are the creme de la creme.
Yep. Yeah, and it also requires a little extra training as well. Some dealers just don't want to put in the extra time, which is fair. I mean, yeah, why not just be it on the floor?
Because the dealers have to literally vocalize all the action.
That's why they got the mics there in front of them. They have to announce the bet sizes, etc.
And then Tyler back there in the booth has got to track it all manually.
Yep. I was about to give a shout out to Tyler doing all the action tracking on the other side of the window, doing the stuff that you guys don't see to make this stream happen. We're the voices, but they are the cogs that keep this train moving.
He's literally back there vigorously tapping on this iPad to make sure all the action keeps up in time.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where, like, if you make one mistake, it compounds. Like, you guys see some of the graphics, like, going crazy sometimes. It's like, oh, no, you got to backtrack and, like, fix your mistake real quick. You got to be on point with that kind of stuff.
Want Zane 275. Gonna take it down.
Rockin' 420, my guy, but it hits his range. I love it. Mr. Brown Music, good night, all. My man, you gotta stay. The stream isn't over yet, everybody. Speaking of, we're not at the 800 mark for the likes either. There's still 1,500 of you left in the chat. 1,600 of you left in the chat. And I know that we can smash that like goal. It's only half of you. 1 in 2. Every other one of you has to like it. I prefer all of you do. And if you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button as well. But I know we can make it happen. 800 likes by the end of the night.
So 8-6 versus... What's happening here? Trick time got out of the way after Zane 3-bet the 8-6. So maybe Trick time's slowing down a bit.
Twitch Clip says local card room is finally opening soon. You're getting hyped to play live poker again after all the lockdown. My man, come and play in Dallas. Come play in Austin. Come play at TCH.
I get the feeling
Don't go to those locals. Come to us. Come to us, sir.
That's right. When you are unable to play for a long time and you see other people getting to play, it's like, man, it's a different kind of itch.
Bradley Lauterbach says, fine, I guess I will like. I take begrudging likes. I take those all day. So thank you.
All spend. And by spend.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll get us to shut up about it, if nothing else.
That's right.
Peck smashes bottom pair. Nate's a lot of backdoor equity on this board. Elects to bet it out. Peck going nowhere. With the soul read. Oh, no. Nate spikes a 6, though. Peck, man, you're just not running good today. Check. Nate with the check mark.
9 of diamonds on the river.
Peck going to check it over again. Nate says, I got a... Peck was so ready to show that 5. He was so ready. He's like, yes, I win one. Yeah, exactly. I win a hand, even if it's small. And then Nate shows the spiked 6 on the turn.
It'd be so frustrating when you're having those
3
nights
outs
where it always seems like the pots are just getting dragged away from you.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best here.
Yeah, exactly. Burnell Harris asked how much did Trick start with. He started with like 30K. No. He started with like 17K, got stacked by JD, and then added on to 30K. So he's up like 60 grand right now. In like most of it coming from 2 or 3 hands.
Yeah,
crazy. Nut flush over, I think it was 3rd nut flush versus 4 high flush. It's insane.
Did St. Pete just get a walk here? Oh, Scott Ever
did, yeah.
All right. Well,
Noah Holben says that TCH you just pay for time or their membership fees too. Yeah, we have a daily fee and a monthly membership. You pay I would opt for the monthly, though. If you're not going to be here too often, maybe 2 or 3 days just to come into town, pay the daily fee, and then you pay $13 an hour on top of that. But it is well worth the price. It is better than Casino Rake by a mile. Don't let anyone tell you different, especially at the stakes that these games play. You have the opportunity to win a lot more money, especially because all of it stays on the table. I don't think people understand just how much that, or rather how important that is, being able to win all of your money back versus some of it going to the rake pool. It's a big deal. Nate limping in with 5-4 suited. Skydiver limping in. Big slick, a spade, slow playing. Getting out flopped here by both players, really. Nate flops a pair. Trick time open-ended. Skydiver just 2 overs, drawing relatively thin.
$7 on the turn. So trick time improves to a pair and open-ended straight draw. Nate here still with a pair of 5s and in his own inside straight draw.
Yep. Yeah, we could potentially... see a little pot here. Trick going to pick up the check mark. Man, he's just running too good. He's just like, him and JD are just running too good tonight. And he's going to scoop another pot. I don't think Trick has lost except for the one hand where he called with a 3. I think that is literally the only pot he has lost the entire night he's played tonight.
Yeah, no significant pots has he really lost from what I can remember. Maybe I just have memory bias here, but I think that it's pretty consistent. Like he's not lost any significant pot that he's been.
Yeah, not at all. Michael Vieira in the chat. Can you join the wait list for the tables remotely? Yes, there is an app called Poker Atlas. Download that. You can put your name on the list up to an hour ahead of time. You have to check in within an hour, or you do get rolled off. But you have an hour, so you can. And everyone else gets rolled off for an hour. So if you time it right, you get here, 55 minutes after you put your name on the list. You're probably going to be one of the first ones up. Given that nobody else has checked in and there's not a line out the door, which honestly happens a lot. But yeah, you can join the wait list remotely and save yourself some wait time especially compared to just showing up and putting your name on the wait list. It's really frustrating. You might show up, put your name on the wait list, you'll be third, and then 6 people come in that put their name on much sooner on Poker Atlas, and then now you're 8th on the wait list, and even though you were just third, it's really confusing.
It's a huge win from the days of when you had to call in or show up and just put your name on the list and wait.
100%.
To be able to like put your name on the list and then head there is such a big improvement. 1,000 here from JD with 2 overs. Scott Ever Scott. It's actually getting out of the way with the ace queen. You know, kind of a weird
JD
board.
Taking down another one, man.
Man, I would really like to see Trick Time and JD just get a huge one going. $150,000 pot one time.
Racer Nerd, regular in the chat. Trick Time is balling. Yeah, man, he's balling tonight. That's definitely the word I would use.
30 minutes left in the stream, though, and anything can happen. Any of these players can get involved in a huge one and turn their night around, or vice versa. Have their night go a different direction. Zane, pocket 7s in the hijack, and Peck understandably calling with Jack 10 suited.
Yep. All standard thus far. Queen getting in, or excuse me, Nate getting in there with the Queen 3 suited in the blinds. Peck flopping a gutter. Zane with a pair right now, and Nate with nothing but a dream in Queen High. Queen gives Peck the straight, so Nate's queen outs are very dirty. And Peck actually going to bet out here. Gets the 7s to fold, and Nate well behind. Lets it go, and it looks like the graphics are just checking up on us.
Uh-oh. TCH, trick cleaning house. Tony M. That's right.
I like that. Right. Yeah, that's funny. He is tonight, that's for sure. I was dealing to him the other night, and he was doing well for himself. They were playing. I got in here. I had an early shift. I got here like 8:30. He, Steven, and 2 unknowns that I'd never met before were playing 100, 200 with a $400 with a $400 straddle 4-handed.
What?
And, at like 8:30 in the morning.
How much did they each have?
Oh, they probably had 50, 60K. I don't know. I didn't see. I was admittedly just glad I didn't get a job. I mean, I don't know. I kind of would have liked a big pot just because I was the only dealer at that table for a while, but it would have just been like, oh God, here we go. You know, gotta stack out hundreds of chips.
They'd been playing all night.
I would only assume.
Oh, you're saying there's not a 100, 200 game that happens at 8 a.m.?
Yeah, I don't think that just happens at 8 a.m.
Yeah, we're going to get 7 for the 100, 200 no limit.
Yeah, exactly. No, open seating.
Yeah. It's like, how do you say that with a straight face? Yeah. Open seating for 100,
I'd be laughing.
$400 mandatory straddle, no limit.
Shizzle 7111 is the hourly fee, the same for all stakes. Yep, it is a flat $13 for any stake, any table, any game. We don't just offer Hold'em and PLO. We offer a bunch of mixed games and multi-card games as well. So it's any gamble that involves poker of any sort, you can get it done here at TCH in Dallas, and you pay the exact same no matter what game you're playing.
Yeah, I mean, somebody mentioned, so it makes sense to play higher stakes. Yeah, I mean, if you can afford it,
yeah,
it definitely proportionally makes sense, but also don't play out of your
don't play outside of your comfort zone. I mean, you can beat it at 1-2. It's tough, but you know, there are a lot of players here that make $40 an hour playing 1-2. I was one of them for a while, but I'd rather just play 2-5.
Right. The 1-2 plays.
The rake is very beatable.
Close to a standard 500 cap 2-5, I think.
Yeah, it plays. I mean, the stacks still get outrageously gigantic
because money never
comes off. The money never comes off, and I've seen stacks of like $4,000 at a 1-2 table. It's just stupid because everyone will just, first of all, $300 is kind of like a sweet spot where a lot of people are not shy to just reload. And all that money stays on the table. So the one guy that's running really hot all night and gets the stubborn players just eats up those buy-ins. And then once you have a big enough stack, it's not match to stack. Once you have a big enough stack, you just become a bully. But it's awesome in that sense where if you're running good and you run up a big stack, you can win a lot of money in 1-2. So come out and get some of the action, no matter what stake you play here at TCH Live in Dallas, or rather TCH in Dallas. Let's see. Both players flopping a straight draw. Open-ended.
With an open-ended JD with 2 overs and an inside. He's got a big old stack of blues too. Bets 800. Scott's not going away. Repping it for the card house as well.
George Aguilar, love watching after a long day. Keep up the great work. We will, my man. Keep tuning in. Thank you for the love. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Ace on the turn.
Chongo says, I miss the massage ladies tonight. Yes, they're not here every day, but we do often have professional massage therapists in the house as well. You pay by the minute, and you can get a nice, relaxing massage while you gamble. It's fantastic. Honestly, I get one here pretty regularly because I have shoulder and back problems, and they fix me up just right.
Always a good decision. So JD bet 2,500 here on the Ace of Clubs turn, and Scott, who's got plenty of live outs, really thinking about it. Also considering whether or not his outs are dirty, I guess, with the spades. 6 of spades comes on the river.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really all that happy to see that card. I think Skydiver's going to have more flush draws than JD, but he does like to check it over. Or excuse me, JD's out of position. Checking his hand, seeing if I have a spade. Can I run a bluff here? No, I cannot. I don't know. You can't win with just king high, though. I mean, you have the net nothing, but he does check and give it up. Skydiver, the only way he's going to win is if he sticks something out there. The pot's already bloated. It's 8,000 in the middle. You got to wonder what you're trying to get to fold, though. JD's ripped a fair amount of strength. Likely would balance, or a jack would likely play this way a lot. Maybe even a turn 2 pair. And he does check and give it up. And JD winning a 8K pot with king high, man.
Sheesh, dude.
How good do you run?
It's got 63,000 behind. I know some players have mentioned wanting to see what cumulative winnings are. We do have a stat that comes up. I just don't know when it comes up. Just pay attention. It should come up here shortly.
Yeah, it'll flash at some point.
$8,000 pot with king high.
With king high. Like, my God.
And the chat has officially completely derailed at 9:30. I think that's close to a record.
That sounds about right.
We lasted for a long time, and now we are at critical mass here in terms of the direction where our chat is heading. Thank you to all the chat pros that
love it,
have stuck with us.
Love the derailment.
Faces. We're headed our way to 800 likes. We're about at 700. We need to have one last blitz, 30 minutes to 10 p.m. Do it. Do it now. 1,500 of you watching. I only need 100 of you to open shove that like button. Sharon Barth comes to chat to get expert poker advice. This is the place to get expert poker advice.
This is it. This is the place. What do you need free. A coaching site? Yeah. What do you need a coaching site for? You got free advice right here.
We're going to put Solve for Why out of business with just us two and the chat.
Absolutely.
Live from Dallas, Texas. And we'll be back tomorrow night, Wednesday night, playing 2-5, which is always a fun time as well. Generally, there's some more, this game plays faster, and there's a lot more just huge bets. The 2-5 game on Wednesday nights oftentimes is more, to me, it seems like more strategic poker spots because nobody's Nobody's rich enough to be like just spewing money.
Yeah, I think it on average, I think you might be right. I think it really just depends on who's still at the table in this game.
Sure.
Because I remember last week when this game played on Wednesday, we had just a bunch of crushers at the table, and there was some high level play being made. I liked it a lot. It was actually a nice change of pace. And we still had big pots. We still had money going in the middle, as is going to happen at a poker table, but it just wasn't as absurd as it might be when we've got some of the wilder players at the table.
That's right. Heads up here, King 3 suited, Ace 5 suited. Zane open to 300.
Man, Zane flopping gigantic.
10, 8, 7, 2 clubs. Not clubs here. And Scott just with 1 over. Zane, been relatively quiet. It also doesn't look like he says much. So literally quiet. Turn, Ace of Diamonds. Just improves here.
And wow. And Zane going to put out a bet. Skydiver says, I have king high, sir. I have nothing to call you with.
Skydiver Scott hasn't been as proverbially out of line. Like he's got plenty of game, but he plays a wide range of hands. And so far we haven't seen him go crazy.
He's been relatively tame tonight.
That's the better descriptor, I think.
Yeah. He's just tame. He's just, taking it easy tonight, I guess. Maybe trying to lower his blood pressure a little.
Yeah. High risk.
Lower our blood pressure a little.
That's right. Good man, Lord. But he might show up tomorrow and win 30K like he did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, for real. Yeah, he hopped in the 2-5 game and was just like, let me just run over the whole table real quick. I'm just going to, you guys in your teensy-tiny little 5K stacks.
I'm going to buy in for 20.
Yeah, God.
It's big money in skydiving. I have no idea.
Racer Nerd. Oh, I see what he's saying by that.
Okay. Oh, Umid in the chat. What up?
Umid in the chat. What is up, my man? Devin, come play heads up. Devin, go play him heads up.
You should.
You should.
Zane bet 650 here. Second pair backdoor hearts. Nate's going to call a worse second pair.
Battle of the nines.
Deuce.
Brick turn.
Zane and Nate. 2 stoic figures at this TCH live table.
Check. Oh,
7.
I had a feeling.
Nate.
I had the feeling that a 7 was coming.
Bitcoin Nate to the moon. Rivers 2 pair. Just
2
going
pair.
to lead out.
Had a rough start. I like the lead. Had a rough start, but bringing it back in spectacular fashion. I think he's even now. I think he actually just squeaked over. Oh, no. He rebought for 30. So he's close. He's close, but digging himself out of the hole. Jason Nichols, Umid for president. Yeah, where's your campaign speech, my guy?
Zane, guys, looking like he's really considering it. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. I mean, this wouldn't be a crazy call in my mind. I don't think it'd be nuts. How often is Nate going to show up with a queen here? I mean, his range is relatively uncapped by comparison. Playing out of position like this, he could show up with some queens, but he's definitely not putting him on 2 pair. He's debating whether or not he's got a queen. I think that's really his only consideration, but he definitely doesn't put him on that 7 offsuit.
Because it's all a weird 2 pairs.
And he calls splashy the pot.
Don't splash the pot.
Yeah, please don't splash the pot.
I'll splash the pot whenever I please.
Yeah, exactly.
And Nate is going to scoop, what is that?
A decent sized pot.
Yeah,
they're on the end.
Over 5,000, 5,100 or so. 9s and 7s. You hate to see it.
We didn't realize that Jason Nichols is J-Nick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did you put that in YouTube?
Yeah. You gotta. We're not very bright, so you gotta lay it out for us. All right.
We're hired to literally read the big graphics on the screen and repeat them.
The big flashy cards, the colors,
any math or English interpretation.
And
Jay
the
Nick,
chat,
you're the best dealer in the game, bro.
Yeah, and the chat writes the script for itself half the time. So, Trick opening up pocket 8s in the small blind. Pretty natural open once it folds to him.
Let's play Zane, a big one.
Let's play a big one. Give me a queen jack. Give me a queen jack 8 flop. That's a good start. Bad finish. Second pair. for Zane. Middling pair for trick time. This is probably going to go check. Honestly, Zane could put out a small bet here and be good a lot of the time, but I do like the check better. Deuce on the turn. We've seen a lot of deuces on the turn tonight.
Not very helpful for the action.
But Trick actually lead with his eights. This would not be a crazy call by any mean if Zane elects to flat call. Once the flop checks through, Trick had the betting lead. So I like his decision to try and get value from the eights, but a lot of jacks are going to check back, and he does check over to Zane. Pocket eights. Oh, I got a jack, bud. And a small one going over to Zane.
Mr. X, hey, checking in from Baghdad, Iraq with 5 guys. Nice to be here. Thumbs up.
Thank you, Mr. X. Appreciate it. Thumbs up in the chat. How about you hit that thumbs up button?
That's right.
On the video.
All 5 of you there.
Yeah, all 5 of you do it for us. We need another like 64. I can do math. 64 likes to hit our like goal tonight. We have 20 minutes. That is very easily achievable. There are 1,500 of you in this chat. That means that about half of you haven't hit the like button. So do us a favor. If you're enjoying all the high stakes poker action you're seeing here tonight, if you enjoy seeing a flush over flush cooler, and I know you do. So hit that like button.
Absolutely. Flush over flush. That's definitely going to make the highlight reel.
Oh, 100%.
Such a fun hand. What is happening here? Blind versus blind?
Blind versus blind, and JD putting in the 3-bet in position. And wow, honestly, good fold by Nate. A lot of people get suckered in with a hand like that. I mean, especially in blind play. Your opponent could be waking up there with maybe a wider range, but a lot of the time that wider range is going to include like a lot of offsuit aces, which are still well behind. So I think that was a good fold.
That's right. Nate's got game. JD's got game. Nobody's a mark here at this table.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's arguing about that either.
And they consistently keep showing up to play, arguably, I mean,
the big game.
The big game. And a lot of these guys are really good, and they both know that, or they all know that about each other.
Yeah, they all know that they're all solid. They got to pull out the stops in a game like this. They got to pull out all the tricks in the book.
So far, all the tricks have been working out for our man Trick Time.
For Trick, yeah, no kidding. The namesake.
He's donated back a little bit. Did Scott put out the 200? Is that what's
it looks that way? It looks like we are playing.
No. He's
oh, you're right.
St.
Yeah,
Pete just has 100 out there for 50. Trick Time, Queen Jack suited. Nice, huge stack. 99,000 behind. 350 to go. Nate calls with pocket eights. JD also calls a 9-8 suited on the button. St. Pete thinking about Jack 10 off and gets out of there as a skydiver Scott. 3-handed.
3 very playable hands here. Trick Time well ahead equity-wise at the moment. Well flops, well out flops, way out flops. There we go. I got there eventually.
Don't give up.
You can't give up in those spots. 10 on the turn. Changes nothing.
Nate here. He's got the only diamond. Middling diamond. Trick Time probably needs to put a bet out here now. Looks like 750. Nate, weird spot. Probably going to fold. Facing another player behind him. But what do I know? He's just going to call.
I mean, he does have the diamond draw.
JD actually turned open-ender here.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, he does have the open-ended.
Open-ender.
He's got some very dirty outs on the river. So
comes, that gives him a straight.
Yep. He's miserable. 10 on the end changes nothing. In fact, actually might get trick paid here if Nate decides to very, very, very thinly bet for a little bit of value, maybe trying to get called by. I don't know what you're trying to get called by. Ace high, a 5. Yeah, Nate. Yeah, I don't know. Could be just turning his hand into a bluff as well.
Check. Trick time's good.
Trick time gonna be good.
$2,700.
Just not losing. Just not losing tonight.
He's made it to showdown the most, and he's also scooped the most.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's scooped like all but 3 pots he's been involved in. So
7 away from 800. Greg,
we're
as
7?
per usual. That's what I'm on my screen. It says 793 right now.
Man, you are absolutely correct.
It's crazy how the goals we set end up happening at the very last minute.
We always squeak it in. I think that is both a testament to how much the chat likes to slow roll.
That's right.
And at how good we are at estimating the line goals.
Jedi Master Ted says facing another player behind you is contradictory, right? Yes, it is. Technically.
All right, fine.
Face a player
that one took a minute for my brain to catch up and be like, what? What do you mean? I get it.
Ace deuce of clubs here, bottom pair, backdoor clubs, trick time, second pair, and Zane with a wheel draw. Sinister creation again. I dropped a like for you two not being Joe Stapleton. It's that simple. Thank you. Joe Stapleton probably makes way more than us. Deuce on the turn. Pete Snow turns trips.
Trip ducks.
Not a set, but trips. King of Hearts on the river. St. Pete still with the check mark. Trip deuces with an ace and a king. 2,000. Zane gets out of the way with his ace high. Missed his wheel. JJ, great stream. Praise hands from Florida. Thanks, JJ.
Man, we still got a full house outside. It's 9:45 on a Tuesday.
I can hear it out there.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, the tournament director, buddy Travis Harilla, also a dealer on the live stream, is wrangling the tournament players. It's still going on out there. Every other table is now filled with cash games. And I think there's even a wait list on a Tuesday night. The action never stops here at TCH.
That's right.
Ever. It's not allowed to.
It's really not. It used to stop at 6 a.m., but it couldn't. It's too fast moving of a train. JT in 1968, $10 super chat. I have an idea. Be sure Dealer Talking takes off Thursday night so he can play/donate in the mixed game as well. What are the most popular games in that game anyway? Far and above, the most popular game is Sassy.
Sassy or Drama,
which is really annoying. I don't like the game at all. But Sassy is basically like a stud variant. You get 4 cards face down. You discard one immediately, and then you roll your own. You roll 1 card face up, and then you play stud. You play 6 card stud, high low, and then after the 4th card up, you have the opportunity to discard 2 and exactly 2 cards for 2 new ones, and it's limit.
Yeah, a bunch of nonsense is what it really equates to.
The pots can get big because everybody draws with the understanding they get 2 more free cards at the end.
It's true. The pots honestly do get, even though it is a pot limit game, like sometimes there's like $500 in the middle because everybody's trying to just draw out on everyone else. And sometimes you do, and you run good, and you scoop.
That's right.
So it's kind of fun. There was a question in the chat. 1 second. Oh, yeah. How often does 10/25/50 run at TCH? Well, it runs every Tuesday here on the live stream, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The game often goes well into the night after we have finished the stream here. And it occasionally sprinkles throughout the rest of the week. Whenever it's a very small player pool, understandably. I mean, we only have 7 on here tonight. And so sometimes they all find themselves here the same night, often on like a Friday, Saturday, and the game will run every now and again. So it just depends, but it is reliably here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. here on TCH Live.
Yeah, the weekends, things get out of hand. Oh, look at this. Pete Snow turns kings full of deuces.
Wow, look at that.
Nate
the King
with
Dewey.
Kings. Oh, and actually, JD turns diamonds if St. Pete can somehow let JD.
He's got a pair. He's got a pair and diamond draw. That's good enough for a flat call.
Surely. Oh, yeah, you're
And
right. Pair and
Nate,
diamond draw.
and I think the flop check, it looked like the flop maybe checked through. So like they're probably thinking their fours could be good every now and then. Nate does have the best possible four. Let's it go. JD, I don't think he can go anywhere just yet. I mean, he is drawing absolutely stone dead right now, but he's got a backdoor diamond draw. He put his cards back under the amber mosquito. So I don't think he's folding. Tony M, y'all carry around tip boxes, dealers, like at casinos? Yes. No.
Wait.
JD gets there with runner diamonds.
Oh, no. Big bet here from St.
Man.
Pete. Come on now.
Oh, yeah. Seriously, Pete, you got. Wait, what? Did he just check? No way. Oh, it must have misread his hand.
Oh,
he's got two face cards.
Oh,
JD gets there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Man, I was hoping we were going to see a bonkers massive pot there on the end. That's slow rolled by the reader.
Slow rolled by the reader, indeed.
Love it. But JD still running pure. Like what you just what else do you do? What else do you do?
Ben Kirby. Oh shoot.
Bracer Nerd says Ben and Greg live in the endless Groundhog Day that is TCH.
That is.
Yeah, we wake up and we're back in the chat in the room. We're back here.
The same stuff. Ben Kirby, you need to add Greek Hold'em. You get 2 cards face down like in Hold'em, but you must play both whole cards and 3 cards on the board. Omaha evolved from this game. That would be interesting.
Interesting. I'm sure. Honestly, I'm sure they'd make a card for it if you told. I don't think people would choose it very much, but
I'd be down to play that. Usual suspect. What's up, dog?
What's up? Let's see. There was another
trick time raised to 425 with Queen Jack. Zane called with Ace Jack.
Should also add up dog to the mix. I love it. Von Gooch, I think that's how you say that. Is there a regular 510 running the rest of the days? Or which other games? Chat, refresh. How many other games run on regular non-Tuesdays? 510 runs probably 3 to 4 nights a week here. And oftentimes that is the game that will devolve into the 25-50 if there are enough higher roller players. But 510 runs fairly often. It is not exclusive to weekends. So you can always, by the way, if you do want a bigger game up there, you can always ask the floor to put an interest list out there, and I'm sure that it'll flock enough players at least so you can play 6-handed. Oftentimes that happens. Ooh, here we go. Trick time, waking up with 2 ladies on the button.
Finally, a real hand.
And JD, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a 3-bet here. And I called it. Putting in the 3 bets with the suited wheel ace out of position over a button to open. Pretty standard in my mind. Peck, ace jack offsuit. Let's it go. I like it. You don't want to be trapped in the middle. Trick, also, I wouldn't be surprised if he just flats here and traps in position. You're going to fold out a lot of hands that JD's going to have here. JD's 3-betting range is going to be a lot wider than normal, but he does put in the standard play of the 4-bet. Maybe Trick is using his image a little bit as a bit of a wild player, maybe trying to just get the max value for his hands, which is perfectly reasonable. None to be found this time, however. And he's going to take it down.
Jeez.
Just not losing. Mr. Trick is just not losing. What do you do when you get 2 players heads up that don't lose? What happens? Does the game explode?
Right.
Do the cards just evaporate into thin air? I don't know.
Jack. Okay, I'm not going to say your name, but I wish there was anything like TCH in New Orleans, literally only the casino and some home games. Yeah, it's a good thought. Shout out to New Orleans. Shout out to my Louisiana family.
Hey, you're not that far away. I mean, you're like 8 hours away, but maybe a little longer. I don't know. I've never been to New Orleans. So.
Classic name, though. Such a classic name.
Yep. Kitty Puppy, TCH better than Live at the Bike. You're damn right, sir. TCH way better. Always tune in here.
Oh, how about this? The Pointy Boys versus King Queen of Peck. St. Pete Snow. So these 2 players have kind of avoided each other for the most part tonight.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Pete's been, I mean, he's kind of either had rags or a very playable hand. So he may be perceived as a little tight in this spot. But Peck going to come along with King Queen suited. Whenever you're shorthanded like this, you can't really start folding out too many of these Broadway hands. Ooh. Peck gonna get some redemption here. Flopping top two pair. St. Pete Snow Kings with an unfortunate aces, thinking he's gonna get all the value in the world from a king, from a queen, from Broadway draws, etc.
$40,000 between these two players.
Let's
Over pair versus top two pair.
And if there's an ace on the turn, all of it goes in. Oh, but King. Peck fills up. Actually, that card may kill action. Your main target, obviously, for Pete is a king, bet. But he is going to bet out here, still trying to go for value from, say, a queen.
Now.
Oh, definitely not. No. Peck, you need to slow play, flat, try and get all of Pete's stack. I mean,
Chat Pro Poker says boats and pros. I like it.
Boats and pros.
That'd be a good t-shirt too.
That would be a good t-shirt. I like that one. Somebody make it happen.
1,600 here from St. Pete Snow and Peck with a decision. Do you basically exude strength and raise, or do you just call one? It looks like he's just calling.
I definitely think you should just call. You lock up too much of this board to raise. You're holding all of your value targets that you would have in this spot. Like, it's pretty, wow, check with the aces. That's kind of how it was going to happen. I think if Peck raised, the aces get folded anyways. Kind of unfortunate.
Pete got.
It's actually that king on the turn was actually a bad card in hindsight because it kills so much action, even though it does give Peck the absolute nuts.
He hasn't really won many pots in quantity at all tonight, Peck. Unfortunately,
no, unfortunately not. Man, look at the values here. Trick Time up 61K, JD up 40K, and everybody else up like $1,000 or down 10K. Like, yeah, what in the world?
Peck losing about 35.
What in the world?
Oh yeah, JD win 40. Trick Time went 60.
J-Win Poker said King was a terrible turn for action. Yeah, it really was. People saying Peck got the min. I mean, if you rate, like, he's unfortunately that was just a factor of the run out kind of killing the action. I think Peck actually got the max there. Maybe he could have raised on the turn, but I don't think aces are calling. Like, what else are you raising with other than a king? So I don't know, close spot. But check on the river was actually very well played by Snow's aces. So
yeah, he saved him a few dollars. He's disappointed in that result. Peck wished it was for stacks to get him close to even, maybe, or halfway to even.
Sean Hall, I take that joke personally. What's the difference between a pro poker player and a large pizza? Pizza can feed family for. The classic joke. I love it.
Feeds a family of one in my house. Large pizza. I would crush a pizza right now, bro. So hungry.
Yeah, I'm starving. Like I said, I was.
You don't have to be a winning player to be a pro poker player.
That's very true. You don't have to be. That's very true. If you got the money, if you got like a big bankroll that you just saved up and you're like, let me just, quit my job and play professionally. Yeah, just do this full time. And then you just lose. I mean, technically you are a pro poker player, but you're not a profitable one.
You're telling me my mic volume's low now? 4 minutes away from the end of the stream?
Yeah, a little late on the jump there, but
dang it.
I hear him just fine.
Nobody's been able to hear anything I've said. Great. Well, no matter.
Rito S says was raising the flop bet. He could have had some trust. Yeah, I mean, when Peck has top two pair, you could definitely, there's definitely an argument for raising the flop. Yeah, you could have some like open-ended Broadway draws, but for the most part, there weren't many draws available other than exactly Jack 10. And considering that Snow had pocket aces, a raise on the flop might have gotten him called once, but once he barrels turn and then river, like I think no matter how it gets played out in that situation. Only 2 bets are going into that pot, as far as I can think about it. 2 bets are going in no matter what, and that's it. It's just a victim to the run out at that point.
If JD calls here, this man is literally reading souls.
Yeah, seriously. Nate bluffing with nothing but ace high, and JD hasn't folded yet, man. This is crazy.
This guy is so sticky.
Oh, seriously. Oh my God.
This dude about to call, bro.
He's calling. He raised. He raised.
Nate's what? Like, dude, I'm out, bro.
What?
6,500 from JD with a pair of 5s, and it's gonna get through. Show it, JD.
Oh man, yeah, he was definitely turning his hand into a bluff there. He had all the relevant straight blockers.
JD's
with 6-7.
Almost made all perfect decisions.
Yeah, so I don't think I've seen him make a mistake tonight. Not one. Not a single one. Not a bad pre-flop call. He has picked off every bluff. He has bluffed to the right. Man, this dude's a monster. JD, don't sit at my table, please.
Golly, dude. I'm out. I'm out on this dude, JD.
God, man.
Nate has got to be like so annoyed. It's like I've tried to get 17 bluffs through this guy, and he calls me light every single time. Correctly.
All of them, or then the last one just as like a little extra zinger, raised you. Jeez.
Golly, man.
Tadpole says, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm talking about an old hand. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We don't need to batter that hand any more than I've already talked about it. But I really, it's hard to imagine more than 2 bets going in at any point, given the run out.
That's right. It's 10 p.m. Are we doing?
I think we started like 3 minutes late, so we're gonna do probably 2 or 3 more hands and then the PLO flip.
Okay.
Unless, it looks like they're doing it right now.
Oh, they better do $1,000.
It looks like they're doing $1,000 flip. Ooh, spice it up a little bit for the end. So maybe try and get Peck a little bit more out of his hole. And here we go.
So John Ryan's going to sit down and throw 1,000 out there.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say John Ryan comes back just to play the PLO hand, at least for the stream. This game, like we said, this game will run well into the night after the stream has ended. For you guys, doesn't end for these guys. The game never ends for these players, and they are doing a $1,000 PLO flip. Trick Time putting out every denomination chip except for the easy ones for this poor dealer. Okay, he's taking him back. There you go. She was probably just like, come on, Trick. Come on, bud. I love it.
These commentators are weird. They sound they need pizza. Yes.
Yes,
we do.
Yes. Actually, I'm kind of trying to lay off the pizza. Maybe give me like a
salad.
I don't want a salad. I really hate salads. Give me I don't know, a nice chicken, tomato, cucumber, basil wrap or something like that.
Okay. That's very specific, but also sounds delicioso.
Yeah, that's what I was halfway through making at home.
No.
I was making a Greek wrap, and I didn't. I finished all the sauces and stuff, but I didn't finish the rest of my prep.
Usual suspect, Ben and Greg. Good job. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Suspect.
Appreciate it.
All right.
I think
that's like Scott's ahead with something.
Yeah, and this is gonna wrap us up for the night, you guys. I thank all of you, each and every one of you, for tuning in tonight. We smashed through that like goal of 831 likes. We had 1,700 of you here tonight, which is obviously discounting the vlogger stream last week. It's the highest regular Tuesday night cash game